Tonight this great body, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it, we gon' come and see about it. Flex tonight discreet about it, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it, find out nothing sweet about it. Flex tonight discreet about it, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it, we gon' come and see about it. Flex tonight discreet about it, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it, find out nothing sweet about it.
Look, mile like 3-6 pulled up, ski trip cold winter. I'm eating good. I remember when we had no dinner. West side, east side, no side, both sides with me. Check, come and check, leaving flex season 12, come and get me. Yeah, the run around, high speed, chasing all the big bags. Bending corners, bending rules, bending necks, give the whiplash. Slide through hot knife, warm butter storm, gutter drain lane. Young man, old habit, still at it, tryna let my chain hang. True story, new story, 2-story, condo, B&B. 4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E. B&Me, so good, so hood, so not worried about it. 250,000 new views, old news, know you probably heard about it. Extra, read about it, headline, word around town, flexing. Ballin' on my course, so I ain't worried about nobody out of town, stressing. Feeling like Hercules, murder these ain't a problem to me. Tried to tell the maid service don't come unless you bringin' condoms to me.
Flex tonight discreet about it, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it, we gon' come and see about it. Flex tonight discreet about it, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it, find out nothing sweet about it. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping.
What's the first thing women notice? Your face. That's why you got to take care of. Simple things like getting a haircut, grooming your face, and brushing your teeth is important. But there's one thing guys miss and that women always notice. It's when a guy isn't taking care of his skin. That's why I'm so excited to have T. Shanley as a sponsor of today's video. T. Shanley simplifies the process of taking care of your skin. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing you don't. Seriously, I don't think some of you believe me when I tell you how much implementing a quality skincare routine will improve your confidence in all aspects of your life. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: daily face wash, exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer with an SPF 20 and a PM moisturizer. But and to make it dead simple for you guys, they provide an instruction card in every box that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. But because T just sponsoring this video, they're offering you an amazing deal. Just click the first link in the description and get 40% off your first skincare system and free gift. Plus, as a member, you'll get 20% off for life. By the way, one of their new gift options is a silicone body scrubber, which is a $20 value and a complete game changer. Once you use this, you'll never go back to a regular loofah ever again. So don't wait any longer. Click the first link in the description to start your skincare journey today.
Going on, family? How y'all doing? Let me go ahead and I'll go Rilla. Our own games to King Dead. Yo. What's going on? How y'all doing? Somebody got an echo?
What me? Up? That might be.
Yeah, did y'all hear it?
I didn't hear you now.
I'm saying that y'all hear that feedback. Like it was something crazy going on.
Yeah, I heard it earlier. Or somebody was at a party or something.
Yep. Let's just make sure that we mute in between. Let's make sure we mute in between. Let's see what we got here. All right. It's good to see you guys, man. Welcome to King Talk. It's Tuesday. It's all fellas chiming in, man, having our discussion, doing what we do. Happy to be here. Happy to be alive. Shout out to the sponsor, T. Shanley, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. You get 40% off along with a free gift. And if you click that link that's in the description and you become a member, you get 20% off for life. That link is in the description. This is for men's skincare. So if you're looking to get your skin prepared for the summer, now's the time to do it. I know you've been struggling with it your entire life. Now it's time for you to start doing something with it. It's not feminine to make sure your skin is in order. It's actually a good thing. It's good hygiene. And you look good too. You look good. Ladies like when men are nicely groomed and their face is smooth. And you have to, a good reason to make sure you take care of your skincare as well is that as we age, we want to try to prevent things from happening. We want our skin to be looking very youthful. And that's the only way you're going to be able to do it is get you a skincare routine. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. What's going on, Miss Parker? Good to see you. I don't think I've seen you in a while. Vic, let's see, we got Trev is in the chat. BZ, what's going on? If you are catching this on a replay, make sure you hit the like button as well. You guys seen the topic, men love without conditions. Women love with conditions, but have unconditional tolerance. I'm looking for an excellent discussion from the gentleman today. Feel free to voice your opinions, man. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
I feel like my beard ain't long enough to be in this room.
No, you all good, man. You all good. You all good.
I agree with you though. I agree with the topic.
Yeah. Let's welcome Tyrone Gaines. Tyrone is the brother that Lil Duval retweeted today with the part 1 and part 2. Did you guys catch that? No, y'all
Yeah, I'm retired from my heathen ways.
Yeah, I might have to pull that up, man. I mean, y'all go ahead and have a conversation. I'll pull it up and play it real quick, man.
Hey, just before we kick it off, man, I just wanted to make sure I shout out Larry Roberts. I put it in our group chat. Then I was thinking about it as you was running the countdown, JR. Like, we've been at this for a minute on Tuesdays, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, for those paying attention, Larry Roberts is actually in one of the clips. He was one of the first guests that we had on here. And it was a real good conversation with that brother. He's a very successful entrepreneur here in Chicago. And he was talking about the things that he wanted to do. He owns a prominent barber college here over there on like 103rd, 105th in Halsted or something like that. And he was talking about some things that he wanted to do. And I just so happened to be in one of the Walmarts and saw the coming soon signs for one of his barbershops. And that was one of the things he was talking to us about, is putting the barbershops in Walmart throughout the city. So I just wanted to make sure I shout that brother out, man. I thought that was super, super dope, man.
Yep. Yeah, shout out to Larry, man. He's doing big things too. But Tyrone Gaines, go ahead and introduce yourself, man. I know I'll let you introduce yourself, tell him what you got going on while I pull this video up.
Yeah, Tyrone Gaines, the Fresh Prince of Welfare, a comedian, funeral director, and embalmer. And I don't know. I feel pretty versed on this subject because I've had 23 girlfriends in my adult life. And I don't know. In my opinion, I think man love is voluntary responsibility. It's like, I'm going to show up for you. You know what I mean? Like, I decided that's what it is. And because of that, I think it gets unconditional, because it don't matter if she got an attitude or if she's not sleeping with me. I'm still going to pay these bills. I'm still going to protect her if some shit jump off. We almost don't have the option for it to be conditional. I'm just putting that thought out there. Whatever y'all think, I just want to hear it.
Facts.
Yeah, we're gonna get that, Tyrone. We're gonna get there. We're gonna unpack it.
Am I going too fast? My bad.
No. You remember that scene on Colors when Robert Duvall?
Is that your wifey paying her goddamn bills?
Huh? What'd you say?
That woman, your wifey paying her bills?
I mean, they want to be independent now, I think.
Wait, Hank, we gonna slow walk it. Y'all remember Colors now? Y'all.
Well, I do have a video I'm gonna play, so it'll probably may change things up. But y'all can go ahead and have this little discussion while I'm doing this.
I'll go for it then.
No, man, I can't be out there. We can't be telling brothers paying women's bills and who doesn't belong to us, is not blessed with our last name. I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah.
She don't.
Okay, I agree there. Yeah.
Hell,
I agree there. But yeah, man, I don't know.
He go out there and pay a chick's bill. He don't mind.
So that means you're not spending money to court a woman, wine and dine her, make her feel a certain type of way, the old way of chivalry. You're not buying her flowers and chocolates, taking her to nice places.
I don't have to look. Kenny, I don't have to.
They don't want that no more.
I'm gonna benefit too, but I'm not gonna benefit by paying a goddamn house note, a car payment, a car and shit. No. Hell no.
So I got you, Hank, but they would easily say, okay, now you pick and choose how you wish to show your financial gratitude for the woman that asks you to provide and protect for her.
And I'm telling she right. I do. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
You got to show me you can take care of your goddamn self. You got to show me you can maintain. That's part of your introduction. You got to prove to me that you can do what you need to do. For some reason, if I can't go out and work and I need for you to take care of this business and be responsible and pay these bills on time, you show me that. I can trust you. I can believe in you. But you can't show me by you keep asking me, I'm a little short on the rent this month. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. There's a homeless shelter down the street for women. You better head your ass on down there and see if you can get some enrollment.
That's why you my dog. You don't spare the ride. I like that. That's the way to set it off tonight.
But I think you got to spend a little money going. I ain't saying paying bills, but in the courting process, like you were saying, brother, you got to. It's going to be some money spent. You know, whether it's dinner or movie, even buying the bottle and going to the house. You know what I mean? You're going to spend some money.
Valentine's Day, her
I said I don't
birthday.
have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that.
Let's
But when you
open
talk
that
about
up
paying a
some,
car
then.
note, insurance, house payment, a car payment, whatever the case may be, or rent, yeah, we're not doing that.
So, but let's open that up some then, though, because oftentimes when we talk about how men love, we immediately default to how he provides resources. So we said that's the only way men love.
No, I'm showing you tough love by not doing that for you.
Hey,
This nigga's Ike Turner. God dang.
No, he ain't gonna spare these heifers, right? But that's an honest question. Like, you know, that's the only way we love. Like, we just provide resources, even in the courting process. There's no other way for us to show love to a woman.
That's the only way they really accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you could be sweet and kind and all that, but if you ain't forking over no dollars, that's where the conditions come in. You know what I'm saying? And those are for them to treat you a certain way. It's conditional. As long as
So-
you're doing X,
So
Y,
law.
Z. Yo,
So law. Women don't receive your time and attention as a form of love. They don't receive that.
if it don't come with no dollars, after a while, that's gonna run thin. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a condition. Yeah, your time is gonna be only good for so long, because right now we all know it's about what you can do for them.
Are you saying dollars as in going out on dates or actually giving them money?
Actually, like doing for them. They don't care nothing about dates after a while. Then what?
All right,
Because
so
you
I
know
got
it's
you.
gonna, you
Go
got
ahead.
the video.
Yeah, I got the clip. So I'm just gonna play these. This is just what Lil Duval had retweeted. This is Tyrone Gaines. I'll just play these part 1 and part 2 right quick, and then we'll go ahead and get straight into the discussion. I know Luis is anxious. I can tell. He got that look on his face like, come on, y'all. Damn, which one is shit? Which one is part? Let me see. It's not showing me which one was part 1 and part 2. Where is it? Oh, it's the first one right here.
More. The last time, this is bad. I can't believe I'm telling y'all this. I was cheating on my woman with a woman who was cheating on her man. Right. Both of us toxic, but she was worse. Right. I'm like rat poison. She's like cyanide. Right. I'm gonna tell you why. Now, my woman, good woman, beautiful, kind-hearted, got her life together, but didn't like to have sex, which is a problem for me. So in an effort to not throw the whole woman away, I decided to outsource this job, right? So I meet this new woman and oh my God, all the stuff I'm not getting at home, I'm talking about she got pre-rolled blunts, lingerie, blowjobs. I'm just, she would say sexy stuff to me like, did you eat today? And I'd be like, no, and she would cook for me. Oh my God. It got good to me. It got so good to me, I got reckless. And my girlfriend found out. And she was mad, rightfully. She was like, oh my God, Tyrone, I can't believe he would do me like this. I deserve better. And I'm like, you're right. I'm sorry. But if you fuck this up for me, I swear to God, I'll never forgive you. You leave my side chick alone. We are in love. So we broke up. So now it's me, my side chick, and her boyfriend. And here's why she's worse. She tells her boyfriend I'm her cousin from out of town. And I'm gonna be staying there from time to time until I get on my feet. So I'm there all the time. I'm there so much, he wants to be my friend. Like he's coming to me for relationship advice. He's making plans like, cuz we should hang out. Man, I don't even hang out with man. Don't be my friend, all right? I already feel like a piece of shit. But it wasn't my plug to pull, so I let it lit. So lo and behold, he catches me and her in the act. I'm on top of her, got the legs on my shoulders, because I'm old school. I like to go hucklebuck, you know? And I see him out the corner of my eye, and I'm like, you know what? I'm probably gonna have to fight this nigga. I've been smiling in his face and smoking his weed, like, and now he catch me fucking this woman, like he has to fight. This has to happen. So I'm like, let me get up and talk to him. As soon as I go to get up, boom, he dives up, right? Like I'm in the pussy when the fight starts. It was a threesome for like 5 seconds, you know what I'm saying, before I got him up off of me. So I get him up and I'm like, hey man, chill. But he's like one of those, He's one of those type of mans, right? Now, keep in mind, I'm butt naked, my dick's out. I don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no toe from nobody. This dude is just insistent on having this fight right now. So look, I'm tussling with him. I finally stopped the fight. I get him on the ground, got my arm on his throat, my hand on his wrist, my dick on his leg, like the fight's over with. Done. So I get dressed, then she gets dressed. And I'm like, oh shit, she's mine now. I just defeated the old alpha in ritual combat. She goes with me. This is the rules. And me and her was good for about 3 months until I caught her cheating on me with the same I beat up. I'm like, I thought we agreed we don't mess with him. Like, we don't. Moral of the story is you can't turn a side into a man. I love mac and cheese, but a whole panic is probably going to be bad for me at some point.
Yeah, I did.
Is
see
that was that a true story?
Absolutely.
Oh shit. That's
Yeah.
my worst nightmare, to fight somebody naked. That's
Oh,
why I
dude,
never did nothing at no other dude house, because I do not want to fight nobody naked. That's like terrible.
I was terrified. I
He
was,
got
oh,
a
God.
straight face, Coach Trev. Look at it. He got a straight face all the time.
No, I'm
This shit gotta
serious.
be real.
I'm serious. I never wanted to fight no dude naked. That's just not a good look for me. So I made sure to never ever violate nobody else's space. And
It
not
wasn't
to
my
mention,
choice.
it's deadly, because I could only imagine what I would do. Well, I already know what I would do if somebody was in my space. There's only one of us getting up out of there. You know what I mean? It ain't no fighting neither. So, like, yeah, that's dangerous, man. You got to consider that. Damn.
I was a lot younger though, but yeah, that was wow. And I was in the projects too. It was wild times, man.
You were naked in a project.
That's where the best loving is.
Yeah, no. He ain't fraud. Projects got some good loving.
You almost got some man loving.
Bullshit.
Oh man, right.
Pause. God
damn. Okay.
That was my thing. Like, why would he choose to jump on my back? Like, wasn't the move to make there. Like,
yeah, and you naked, especially you naked, bro. Like,
man,
you missed the play. Why you think he jumped
on his
back?
leg and all that? That's crazy.
That's how he knew the fight was over. Like, I knew it was over already. That's how he knew.
When he was on your back?
No, when my dick was on his leg.
Oh, whoa, baby.
You say that real. You say that way too
hey, whoa. Oh my God.
I didn't like it. I was trying to survive, man. Listen.
Oh man, did you feel violated, or like you violated him?
That's line, man. We gotta talk about wild ass
baby oil.
I didn't really have time to think. Like, you know, the adrenaline you feel in a regular fight. So fighting when you totally vulnerable, man, my adrenaline was like 10 times normal. I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just like, I gotta get out of here.
Fight or flee, right?
Oh,
Somebody was getting involved that night, huh?
Man. Oh, yeah. I'm older now. You know, that was last month. I'm older now.
Yeah.
There you are. Hopefully you learn from it.
All right, let's go ahead and get this. Let's go ahead and get this show started. Okay. I know what she's talking about now. I'm a little bit too late, Precious, but I got you. And now hit that like button, also make sure to subscribe to the channel. Man, let's go ahead and get into it. Men love without conditions. Women love with conditions, but have unconditional tolerance. Here we go.
Your judgment is not clear enough for her to be able to trust it.
As a leader. Talk about it. Yo, to add to it, dog, you said something that was key, and I was going to touch on this, but I wasn't going to touch on this topic because it was going to be an actual topic. But I was sitting there, I'm thinking, I'm like, we always talk about unconditional love, right? You know, I presented the whole unconditional love.
Oh, man. I'm happy you got into this.
Hey, is it going in and out or just me?
No,
a little bit. I can hear it though.
It sounded like it was low.
Sounded like it was low. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna do this, man. It sounds funny. It's like it was going in and out. But let me do this. And I'll play it back. Y'all gotta stall for a second.
You know we can do that.
Yeah, I'm about to do
Hey, hold on, Trev. I mean, you had a wild clip yourself now, brother. I mean, where would you get that chick who's walking around with a goddamn Chucky doll?
Oh, that's my Chucky doll. I got the
What?
dolls in the
Oh,
in the
okay. God,
studio.
I
Yeah, I
thought that
know.
was
See,
hers.
I know you don't watch my podcast. I got I got, yeah, a
Don't do
couple
that.
of
Don't do me like that, Trill. I watch, man. I watch them clips. Don't do that to me like that. That was the first time I know it. I guess I noticed it. I
Yeah, but
noticed it when
you know,
she had
one of them was
nothing on.
Ash. You know that, right? One of them was
Yeah, I
Ash.
seen her. Yeah, I
And
seen
then
her.
she brought a friend, Juella.
And
Yeah,
they
her
both
friend
was
was
insane.
very interesting.
Nah.
Insane.
One thing
Yeah,
I
she
give
was.
Trev, you know how to set the mood where they feel comfortable and safe. And then, you know, he has some very good interviews, and we need to promote his stuff a lot more because he got
Appreciate
something.
you, Kenny P. For real, for real. It's gonna get there, man. I promise you. We got some things coming up very soon too. Pause.
Yeah, I was just disturbed by what she was saying. Talk about, the man can't have no kids, but she got two of. Well, she said she got two of her
Yeah,
own.
yo, that drove me wild, bro. And I try not to spaz because one of my techniques that I use is I don't like push back too much because you get three things. They become dishonest, defensive, and disingenuous. So I normally just allow people to talk, and the viewers are going to be able to view anything that's out of line, right? I will question a little bit, but I don't get too much pushback because I want them to maintain their integrity, and it works for a better interview for me, at least, in my opinion.
And they talk themselves in the corners, and next thing you know, they're looking dumb as hell. You know what I'm saying? They start real talk. They start talking, and you like, just keep on coming. Just keep on coming.
Yeah, she was on. She definitely was on some wild shit. I'm hearing like, God damn, she sound crazy. The man can't have no kids.
I want to be his first everything.
Yeah, it pissed me off too, bro. I was like, damn, ain't no way. Because I'm trying to figure myself. Wait a minute, you got kids. I gotta mind your kids. I ain't got no kids, and you ain't gonna give me no kids. What? Nah, get out of here, bro. Nah.
Look, then she said the kids are older. They won't be a problem. The hell they won't.
That make it worse to me.
They cost more. They cost more.
And they more protective of their moms. They be in the way.
Yeah.
I tried that once, and I was like, oh yeah, this ain't it. Nah.
Hey man, look, let a man come in there knocking her down. They hear her moaning and groaning. You don't think they're gonna try to cock block?
Of
Not saying I expect it, I'm just saying.
So look, is it me or like, is it me or was there a time back in the day where it was cool to be a stepfather, where it was almost noble?
Nah, it's just you.
It's just me. Okay. I felt like in the 80s, 90s,
it wasn't frowned upon like this, but it was more rewarding and it garnered more respect.
It was more respected.
Before.
That's what
Yeah. But the women respected it as well, right? Now women just don't appreciate it. So, it's a thankless job. So a lot of men decide not to do it. And the women are way more reckless now too, because they'll have like 2, 3, 4 baby fathers instead of just like the one. You know what I mean? Back in the day, it was a situation. She might have had a long-term boyfriend or a husband, and it might not have worked out, or she could have been a widower. But now it's just whatever. You know what I mean? They don't stop you. I know some females with like 4, 5 baby fathers. I'm like, damn, are you gonna stop at some point? Like, shouldn't you have been clipped and burned by now? Like, what we doing?
This is how I love
Are
a
you
child.
milestoning?
You think Tyrone watched the old school Claudine movie with James Earl Jones?
Oh, you took it back. No, I was listening to Shaq. The Phil is my father because my biological didn't bother. I was like, oh man, that was a cool stepdad. He made Shaq.
You always heard the stories about,
I'm looking at it. I'm looking in the chat. Your girl, Angela said, "Yeah, my son did that with his ex. He was a horrible experience. He knocked on the door and everything. God damn." So she was in there getting in, and the stepson, her son coming there knocking on the door trying to break the mood.
Damn. Yo, he was Matumbo right there, boy.
It's another level of blocking now.
Goaltending, bro. Oh man. You shut all that down if you got that Melvin persona.
Go baby boy on him.
Yeah, baby boy on him.
Yeah. That'll do it. That'll do it. Ving rings, huh? That'll do it.
Hey, boy, that boy was
They be in the
traumatized
kitchen
for the rest
cooking
of his
butt
life.
nugget.
Right? So if he was inside, I make you get on your knees and fix it. Fix it. What does that mean? That's terrible.
It's a
terrible.
different level.
Yeah,
Man, Ty, what made you want to share that story, brother?
I don't know, man. It was just something I had, and I don't know. Like that's the kind of style of comedy I do. I just tell the truth. Like I really don't tell jokes on stage. It's just this happened. It sucked for me, but it's gonna be funny to y'all. So let's put it all out there.
How long you been doing stand up?
Like 3 years.
For sure.
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
I'm a little ahead of schedule, but I ain't got the money I want now. Like it's not my only job, so I'm working at it though. I love it. This feels like walking in purpose for me.
Okay, have you popped your cherry proverbially? Has anyone stolen your joke?
No, that's funny, man. It's a thin line between parallel thinking and actual joke stealing. You know, like you and somebody, like when Kobe passed, I went to the club, everybody had a Kobe joke. You know, none of them were really funny, but you get how or COVID. COVID's a perfect example. Everybody had a COVID joke, so you and another comic might come to the same punchline. You know what I mean? But a direct theft, no.
You on your way. It'll be there soon.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. I ain't got no choice. I ain't turning back.
All right, I'm gonna try to flip again, man. It's gonna take too long to export a decent quality out of Premiere. It's gonna take like 10 minutes, so I ain't gonna even do it. So I'm just gonna run it back. Hopefully everything is good now. You guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Precious.
So
Precious.
what she said?
You can't steal his real life. That's a fact.
Yeah.
46. What up, M. White?
What up, bro?
What up, Joe? What up, y'all? What up? What up?
All right, here we go with the clip now.
Your judgment is not clear enough for her to be able to trust it.
As a leader,
talk about it. Yo, to add to it, though, you said something that was key, and I was going to touch on this, but I wasn't going to touch on this topic because it was going to be an actual topic. But I was sitting there, I'm thinking, I'm like, we always talk about unconditional love, right? You know, I presented the whole unconditional love.
Oh man, I'm happy you got into this, man.
Unconditional love versus unconditional respect, right? And this is what I came to realize, right? Women really think they have unconditional love, right? They have conditional love, but they have unconditional tolerance. Men have unconditional love, but conditional tolerance. So when they be like, oh, y'all can't take what y'all put us through, that's because we're not about to tolerate it. It don't mean I don't love you. The fact that our love shows unconditionally because it goes back to when I'm assessing you, I understand that everything that I'm giving for you to have is just me deciding to do it because I love you. It's not that it's not being sustained by what you give me. It's like, I just love you because you are. It is what it is. I just fuck with you because I don't fuck with you because you do this or don't do this or because you like this. I fuck with you and I love you because of that. But I'm not tolerating none of this shit. Whereas though they don't love us unconditionally, but they you got some shit going on. You got a car, you got a nice house, you can sustain their lifestyle, you can take care of them. They'll tolerate anything that you got going on, and they confuse the two. So they think that because they more willing to tolerate certain shit that's love. But it's like, no, the love. Sometimes you gotta give a motherfucker hard love, that cold love, where it's like, I love you, but no, like you on some bullshit. I'm separating myself from you. Even if you think about tough love as a parent or whatever the case may be, it's like you understand that sometimes I gotta do what you don't like for the long haul and the bigger picture. But if I'm giving you this motherfucking unconditional tolerance, that's when there's no boundaries. That's when it's like, oh, you could get away with anything and I'm gonna tolerate it because I don't want to speak up because I'm in fear of losing the benefits that I'm gaining from what you're giving me. So when you think about it, I'm gonna land the plane here, it's like, men, we have unconditional love, meaning we don't come with conditions. I don't love you because you look like this or because you don't look like that or because you do this. I love you because I love you, but I'm not tolerating that bullshit where the women, y'all have unconditional tolerance where though y'all might give us a little bit more grace and room to do certain shit and get away with certain shit, but your love is conditional. Your love will change if that nigga go broke. Your love will change if he get rich. Your love will change if he get fat. All that. I can still love a woman even if I'm not physically attracted to her. You won't even love the motherfucker no more. You just done with him. Like, not like you now disgusted with him. Like, I ain't never look at my chick I love and be disgusted. I just be like, all right, like, I love you. Like, we need to figure this shit out though. Like, shit can't just stay how it is. Like, but no,
I got two.
Did y'all hear that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. It was kind of weird on my end. All right, so what you guys think, man? Men love without conditions. Women love with conditions, but have unconditional tolerance.
It's
Want
a
to
lot of
tackle this?
truth to that. Yeah, I say it's a lot of truth to that. You know what I'm saying? He be hitting, you know what I'm saying? I've seen some of his clips, but hell, there however, some things are I think synonymous on both sides. You can't just look like anything and think it's gonna stay like that. So, you know what I'm saying? It's only some things you're gonna actually tolerate, at least for me as a man. You know what I'm saying? It's only some things that yeah, I got conditions too.
All right, let's think about it, Viz.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. I don't think that it matters as far as with male or female. If you like somebody or love a person enough, you're gonna tolerate whatever. You're gonna tolerate most stuff that the average person wouldn't with another person. So I think that it varies as different factors, but I don't think that there's much difference in between the two.
All right, what about you, Tyrone? I know you had a lot to kind of kick it off with. Now that you saw the clip, does it change your view a little bit? All right, hold on, you're on mute. Let me take you off mute. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like I was thinking about my grandparents, man. Like they were together for 50 years, but like they broke up halfway through, and my granddad just had to go sleep in another room. It was like I don't love this dude, but I'm gonna tolerate him just for the sake of the family type deal. But yeah, I think that's what women are. But I don't know, guys. I think today's guys we're a little more conditional. Like I know now, my love is performance based. You know what I'm saying? Like if me and you get into an argument, we don't fall in anger for the rest of our lives. And that's how I feel about love. Like, I need, piss me off every time I see you, with love, if the metaphor follows.
All right, what about you, Luis?
I mean, I think everything that the brother shared in the video is pretty much true. It's pretty much spot on. But I will also add the caveat that it only really shows up and applies to healthy, balanced people. I think that individuals who are not really in a healthy space emotionally tend to kind of struggle with that because truth be told, a lot of people are out here dealing with anything. Like we can't really sit here and pretend that everybody operates under these standards and under these conditions. They sound good, and I agree with it. Like, yeah, that does make sense. But unfortunately, the reality is a lot of people are out here, unfortunately, accepting anything and tolerating a lot of BS. And I think a lot of dudes are in that position who do tolerate a lot of BS because the chick may look good or they probably can do better or whatever the case may be. I think a lot of people have not really been told how to have standards and really know what to tolerate and where things become conditional based. Because I mean, obviously, even by societal standards, where we all hold each other accountable to some sort of level, but I think that it is true. Men do love unconditionally, and women do love under the condition that, what you originally provided or the things that you said that you're going to do, that you adhere to that level. And if you stop or you don't, or you change up, they're going to start questioning everything. And so it's been very important to kind of look at it from that perspective. Hey,
Go ahead, Trey. Go ahead, Fizz.
I wonder, is it really that men are, or some men would feel more convicted of the obligation to love this person? Is it more so that, because I don't know if I can agree that it's that men still would love the woman without conditions. I mean, with was it men love without condition. So I think that men still love. I think men love with conditions. However, when there's that disconnect, is it because of the obligation that we feel towards that woman? If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, because I see the direction you're going. I was about to say something very similar to that effect because I think that it's impossible for us to love unconditionally. But the thing is, men understand duty, right? And that's what we love more, right? We love our purpose, and we feel like that's our purpose, and we understand the duty. So we might not even like the chick at all no more. Like we might hate her even, but you'll still provide, you'll still protect, you'll still perform all of your obligations, like Viz said, and your duties. That's just what it is, and that's what we love. We love to have a purpose. We might not love that woman at all anymore. It's very easy to fall out of love with somebody. Love is fleeting, right? And I think that women more so back in the day would have that same conviction when it came to the duty. But women nowadays are a lot more fluid. They say they do what they feel, they do what they want, right? And they're protected, and you can't speak against them without being demonized. So they're no longer held accountable. So they just do what they want. It doesn't matter. Duty and obligations are a thing of the past for many of them, right? Particularly in our culture. Unfortunately, they just do what the hell they feel like doing, and it's like whatever. Oh, I'll just get another one, right? There's no repercussions.
Somewhere they made love about happiness, and like love, marriage was never about happiness. It was always about duty. Like you said, man, like we're building a legacy. We're passing on. We're making our kids productive members of society. Like that was the whole mission. But now it's about happiness. So it's like, well, I don't like you no more. Forget love. I don't like you no more. So I need to go away and be happy. Forget what we got going on.
Yeah, but the premise of you liking your person all the time, good days, bad days, or indifferent, right? Like I don't think people have really had that conversation or have been prepared to what to do when you get to that wall, when you get to that moment where you don't like your person or you are in a disagreement or indifferent for that moment, right? And people take that and view that as the entire relationship, and they forget all the good moments and all the great memories and the things that they've done for you and how they showed up in your life in a particular type of way. It's just about that particular moment. And sort of what we tend to find is that a lot of people are making permanent decisions over temporary feelings.
Facts.
Something that you're in the moment, you're in the rut, but tomorrow you'll be like, why the fuck was I even mad for?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Lewis. What do you think the odds of a man regaining respect from a woman once she's lost it?
Man, that might be. I mean, I think it depends on how the dynamic starts off. I would say it's a pretty steep slope decline.
It's slim, right? And that's the problem that a lot of men face. Once woman loses that respect for you, she's not going to treat you the same way she did, and it's going to be hella hard to love her because of the mistreatment that she's going to give to you, brother. Like that's the problem that a lot of men are facing. Their woman no longer respects them, and once that respect is gone, it's a big problem.
Yeah,
the respect is hard to gain, easy to lose, and impossible to get back if you hadn't lost it, in my opinion. And I think that's what a lot of men are looking at. Right? They're looking at that woman who no longer has respect for him for whatever reason. Maybe his financial situation changed. Maybe he got punked in front of her, right? Maybe he cheated. Whatever the case is, it's extremely difficult to get that respect back. And she is not going to treat you the way that you would like to be treated by a woman. And it's going to be hell living with that woman from there on out.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're not going to be able to love her.
I mean, one thing that I would say, and I've said this on the panel before, is that I find that men today have to work almost 20 times harder to qualify for a woman that is like 100 times worse than their grandmother.
They're all dimes now. I don't know if
you know what I'm saying. Like, dudes today have to work 5 times harder than their grandfathers to qualify for a woman that's 20 times worse than their grandmother. You know, that's the dynamic in which we are. And sort of, I want to say, keeping it on that point, I want to bring up one point that from the story that you shared at the beginning of the video about that relationship dynamic, when the chick told you that she doesn't like sex or doesn't, want to sleep with you. I've always found it odd, and I've always said this. Why do women at times want monogamy but do not want to do the things that keep the relationship in a monogamous condition, right? What do you expect to happen? Like, I don't understand that. Like, you don't want to do anything to that adheres or glues the relationship in a monogamous sense, but yet get upset when the apple cart crashes out. Like, that's
you go ahead.
But Louise, going back to that last statement though, I don't think that men have to work 100 times harder now. If you're a solid dude, you confident in yourself, you got a car, job, a place, a pot to piss out of, a pot to piss in, and a window to throw it out of. What the fuck you got to do? Actually work 100 times harder for? You know,
to
what
get
I'm
a
saying?
good woman, you do.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, Viz. To be honest with you, like they're dudes.
I honestly can't agree with that.
Who
If
have
you
a
have charisma, you got your shit together. Finding women, that's the easy part.
No, we said a good woman, bro.
A
You
good
got you
woman.
know good and well these women out here
a good
brains
woman
are
too,
fried.
bro. A good woman too. If it's easy to find women, then that comes with good and bad women.
Viz,
So
like,
I can't agree with that part.
I would, Viz. I tell you, there are guys out here, and I'm sure some of the brothers can attest that dudes who have their shit together, modestly living, make a good income, no kids or whatever, they are still having challenges.
Is something wrong with them then,
good
bro?
one. There's nothing wrong with you.
I mean,
And here we go.
So Viz, all men do not fit this archetype that most women have.
So I'm gonna let you get yours off. I'm taking off my belt tonight.
Pause. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Hey, but you know what? It is options. It might not be the options that we want, but a lot of times I meet a lot of women who I say try to give me pussy on clearance. It's like I wanted it back in 2008, and like life's been kicking their ass. Like, oh, Tyrone will help. Let me reach out to him. It's like that's cool, but it's like I wanted the 2008 model. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for. I ain't checking for the 72 Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? I want the 01 Aquarius with the spoiler in the back. That's what I'm looking for.
He just say Dollar Tree coochie.
I'm doing. This is what I'm doing tonight. It's what I'm doing tonight,
man. And I might drive it. I'll take the clearance on Sundays, but I don't want it to be mine.
Look, I got a question for y'all, man. Because Viz, I agree with you, and I'm wrestling because we talking a lot. We throwing so much out there, and I'm trying to think in general, right? Are y'all saying the rank and file, blue collar dude, right? Like this, say you got your stuff together, no kids, whatever, woo. That it's that much of a shortage of good women, even though black women outnumber us by 1 million plus?
Man, come on, man.
Nah, not by much, bro. Not by much. No, it's really like 8 out of 10, right? And that's including everything, right? Including anybody who's on the rainbow side, including incarcerated, everything. It's like 8 women to 8 men to like 10 women.
Wait, so what does that break down to? 2 to 1? Are you saying that number is 2 to 1?
No. So for every 10 women, there's like 8 men. Okay, which is not horrible. It's not a grave disparity.
So we saying out of what I'm asking is out of that dynamic, out of that choice, that ratio you just spilled. Cool. I'm not a statistician. Was not good in math. I read though, right? And so I'm saying out of that, are we saying the rank and file, blue collar, sanitation worker, the brothers who 9 to 5 in it, take the bus to work, whatever, woo, blah, 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 credit score solid, got a house, got a car, everything's paid regularly on time. Those dudes are having a really hard time in 2025 finding, and I'm trying not to be anecdotal. I got mines. I know my seeds are straight. In my real life, I don't see that dynamic, but I know y'all are really out here. So I'm asking to Viz's point, because I agree with you, Viz. The dudes are still having that much of a hard time finding a good woman that they qualify for. That's good for them.
Something's wrong with them.
That's what Viz said.
Wait. Now you have to filter through all those women that didn't get, it wasn't there from you when you was shooting in the gym and building it from scratch. You have to be able to decipher which women are just putting up a representation with you rather than trying to take your shit. You understand? Quantity and quality is a whole different thing. Finding quality with women that get in their own way, that make it difficult for you. And those same women can't pick the 5'9", 213-pound guy that's working, church going, grounded with family. They want the 6'2", 6'3" guy with the mandingo that has the pick of the women, the 20%, and they frolic in that same pool, that same cesspool. That's why, what is it? 33% of men have sex. Is that correct, Trev?
No. So that's a really weird stat that they give out, but they say a third of men. No, not you being weird, but I don't like the way they conflate the two, because the stat that's available is 33% of men are either included in being a virgin or haven't had sex in a year, right?
Okay, so
and that's,
now that can be added into that soup.
If you're not having sex, I'm gonna let you go. If you're not having sex in 2025, if you can't have sex in 2025, then yes, there's something wrong with you.
Okay, so I really don't want to go down this path, because the last time I did, I really stung you because you didn't go out there and find yours.
Oh, you ain't staying shit.
Revisit that.
You do whatever you got to do.
You up there pounding the podium, and you had to press buttons to find yours, like you were doing, like at the vending machine. That's how you did it. I don't want the peanut chews. I don't want the Twizzler. I don't want the M&Ms today. No, the ho-hos. I had those yesterday. Okay, I'm gonna pick the Little Debbie snack cake. That's to my liking. That's how you did it. You understand? A lot of men can't.
I have no idea what all that shit you just said didn't even make sense to me. I don't even know what you mean by all
overheating right now.
Just get to the point, man. You try to sound smart and intelligent and going down all these little different paths and all this. Man, just get to the point, man. God damn, Gooch.
You done? Okay, so now it is difficult for a qualifying man today to find a woman that's not going to tear him apart. This goes back to our conversations. Can you cleave to a woman? The contract is bad. There's a lot of qualifiers before you find someone that can love you forever. If she's not there from scratch, you are taking a leap of faith, and most of those crash and burn. You heard the brother tell a whole story up there on the monologue of how it went. He didn't think that situation would go the way it did. What man want to hear the woman that he's into saying, I don't like having sex with you. I don't want to be with you. That demoralizes a man, because that man opened up where most men are stoic. You know what men are scared of? Opening up and allowing a woman to go inside their heart and crush it like a grape. So it's not as easy as you think to find somebody that's going to be there, and you give your trust to that and let her take everything you got. I beg to differ, sir.
If I can interject, though, I think that for that point, it's important that even in the courting process, you set your boundaries and you teach your woman how to fight fair. Like I ask up front, you know what I mean? Like, just, hey, these are the things that we're going to fight. Let's fight. Don't be like, well, that's why your daddy never loved you, or do whatever I told you in confidence. Don't bring that shit up in a fight just to win. You know what I mean? It's like telling
a woman that you're telling. That's a woman's greatest defense. Her mouth and the weapons that she holds, like the big joke, a little joke on you. When you hear her say, I know you ain't talking, you know it's going bad for you.
But I'm saying, like, you let them know, like, this is a deal breaker. I'll leave you behind this shit. And you stick to it.
Women are emotional. Men are supposed to be logical. We in our emotions sometimes.
A
woman will burn down the Carter.
And if you do that, then you take your balls and go home.
But
Hold
look,
on.
but isn't that what we
What
saying
home?
though?
She
Hold on,
done
listen.
took everything.
When we just saying that was the whole point. We saying that the good ones are few and far between right now. So you gonna have to get up and leave when they pull that stunt. And let's be real, Viz. I know you saying that, but I'm looking at it. You know, obviously I've been out the game, right? But I'm looking at my 25-year-old, 26-year-old nephews. You know what I'm saying? Who got their shit together, don't have no problem getting a woman. I'm talking about them trying to find a real one. Boy, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Like them trying to find a real one while having all of their shit together, having
where
their
they
own
fishing
spot.
at?
That's
I'm
just
interested in where they're fishing at. The problem is that a lot of guys nowadays, they want the hoes that they see on Instagram. Of course, those are not good women. So
yeah, but
we
my thing is that's their
wait.
That's their demographic now, bro.
No. That's not all of the women, in that age category. They're not all doing the same shit. Is what pool are you fishing in? That's the question that we really need to be asking, because we'll say the same shit to females. What pool you fishing in to pick this bum ass nigga that you didn't let shoot up the club and he left you and now all niggas ain't shit. We tell them all the time to vet better. So if you're not going to the same pool that everybody else is going into, and you go in there and you see the bitch, she showing her ass, she taking the pictures behind her, she thirst trapping, and you know a million other niggas is in her inbox.
But it's cool to be a hoe now.
Of course, you go get the same results. Now, I can only assume if you go in and find a nice, modest young lady that carries herself a certain type of way, she barely on social media, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you might got one right there, but most niggas don't want that. They want what's fun. They want the bitch that's in the club with the bottle over her head. They doing all this shit on the Instagram. That's the ones that motherfuckers want.
Hold tight, y'all. Hold tight.
We gotta keep it a buck here.
Yeah, let's get M. White and Hink in there because we haven't spoke yet, and then we'll open it back up. Go ahead, M. White, then Hink.
I agree with Trev, Tyrone, and Viz for the most part. Some of the sentiment is a little off. Maybe just the language, but the sentiment I agree with. I think that I honestly think that there's a lot of good women out here, and it really depends on where you at circulating with them and the interactions you have with them. You know what I mean? It's pretty self-explanatory. But I was confused by the unconditional tolerance part. Like I got conditions. Back to what Tyrone was saying, like, it's gonna be a deal breaker if you start disrespecting me within this relationship. Like, ain't no coming back from that shit. Like, and that needs to be made clear from the very beginning. Like, hey, you may get one chance in the beginning because maybe I didn't explain clearly enough that, hey, I'm not messing with you once you start doing this, like using personal, like all of that stuff. Once that's clear and you've crossed that threshold, it's no coming back. So I wouldn't say it's unconditional. It's very much a condition right there. Like there are some do's and don'ts that we just never gonna allow to be crossed. And once you do, you've made the decision to end this relationship. It's not even, you took it out of my hands at that point. I told you this off the table. You decided, no, nigga, I'm gonna step clean across this line. What you gonna do, bitch? I'm gonna leave you. That's what's gonna happen. That's exactly what's gonna happen. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
All right, go ahead, Hink, and then let's get real in there. I don't think you really spoke on the topic.
Yeah, Viz is wild, and I think, man. Look, Viz, we didn't seen too many shows, been on too many goddamn shows to sit there and say there's a lot of good. We can't say there's a lot, because if there was a lot of good women, it'd be a lot more men wouldn't be having these conversations. We wouldn't be having this conversation right now on King Talk. This conversation would be had about conditional love because they'd be having the right ones. That's not, and that's okay. It's not supposed to be a lot of good women. That gives you the opportunity to cipher through and put that work in. That's what men really need to do. Stop being lazy about trying to find the right woman and find the right woman. Don't be lazy about it. Don't just go like you said. Just look. Most time we picking what we want and not what we need. I think that's a lot of men's problem. We're not picking what we need. We picking what we want. And we want the hoes. I agree with that part, Viz. A lot of dudes want the hoes. And then they try to convince themselves that I can change this hoe. Like these ragged ass heifers be trying to change these dudes. This shit don't work. Let them motherfuckers be who they are. If he's a ragged ass dude, you ain't changing that motherfucker. If he's in and out of jail, don't try to change or rehabilitate him. Let his ass die the fuck off. I'll let the hoes have it. Find you a good woman, but you keep saying these heifers are good. No, man. Most of these heifers ain't good.
I ain't say all of them is good. I ain't say that.
But you said most of them.
Hank, you gotta pay attention.
I said this. I said they out here. I said
a lot of them out here.
He came up here to needle people. This is the one that found his woman online.
All the thing is
he came up here to needle people.
It's
he
7
found his
million
woman online. You ain't had no game, nigga. You found your woman online.
Let him speak. Let's stall him out a little bit.
It's 7 million people on this planet. All you need is one.
It's gonna be home cooking tonight.
That's all you need is one. So,
God damn.
To me, I'm not saying that there's a high percentage of good women out there.
Oh, you change it? What? You just changed your tune now. Now you got rid of them looking crazy. They was backing you. You just said there's a plethora. Now you said there's not. Pick your side.
What I'm saying
Gooch, I had to talk some sense into him, Gooch. I had to talk some sense into him.
Maybe I've forget I didn't realize I said it. To clarify, I do believe that there are good women out there. Is it a high number percentage? Is it 80% of good women out there and 20? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they are out there. And if you're fishing in the right pool, then you can find that one. All you need is one. So I don't understand how we complicate something as simple as just finding one person.
Fuck that, Viz. We standing on business, man. It's women out here, man.
It's a lot.
No, I'm saying it. I'm not saying.
Hold on.
I'm telling y'all. Hey, look.
I'm not folding off saying that they are out there.
No, you were saying it, bro. Sure. Look, you said it. Niggas is in the club. They want what they see on the Instagram. They want what they see on the OnlyFans. Okay? I done told you, Nick, take yourself to a poetry jam or something. Go down there to the museum. Go down there to some of these art shows.
There's some hoes there.
Go. It may be some hoes there, but it's some good women too.
I mean good women. Let's start to
the good. Like we make it seem like there's good women. That's the thing that bugged me out because the same way y'all seeing hoes, I'm seeing women that are solid. That's saying I can't find a good dude.
Are they solid?
I'm in the same way. Hold on, the same way we would drill them and say, "Well, damn, what pool you looking for?" I think M. White was saying, "Where you at? Where you looking? What's going on?" Or Viz was saying, whoever was saying it. Damn it! We gotta keep that same. Ain't no good women out here. Ain't none of them.
Ain't no.
All the ones that's in school is scamming and scheming and on something. All the ones that actually working the legit job.
I think good is subjective, though.
I'm finna land it, dog. I'm cooking.
So,
like we gotta keep it a beam, fam. It's some good sisters out here, man.
Look, right.
Yeah,
I'm just speaking from the research I've been doing.
Wait, and I promise I'm going on mute after this. I ain't want to make it anecdotal, man. Like I got mines. I've been with my lady, and listen. I'm a man of a certain age, so I try not to lean into that. And I understand is dudes out here having a hard time. I really do understand that, right? But my son is 22 and got his rib. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what we talking about?
Oh man, we just gotta call it what it is, man.
Could I ask y'all real quick? I just want to ask if everybody could just give a quick percentage of what they think, as far as if you had 100 women, what percent of them, how many of them are marriageable?
20.
And 20. Okay.
In the 20s.
I'll give it 30.
30. Okay.
I'll give it 30.
30.
So
All right, so
Biz, if you saying
all
30, you
hold on,
agreeing
hold
with
on,
him.
hold on, hold on now. All right, Marcus, you answer,
Man,
and then
that's-
I'm gonna go because I
that-
got a
I-
point. But Marcus,
I
what
think
was your
that's
answer?
I think that's a good number.
Yeah, Viz.
Damn, so
Let your
70%
co-host
Marcus,
tell you
what's
it
your
ain't
number?
worth nothing.
Hold on, y'all.
Marcus, what's your percentage?
I think it's subjective because what you might consider a good woman, maybe I don't, and what I might consider one you don't. So for each individual, man, I'm gonna say it's about 40 to 50%, depending on what his standards are for the women that he surrounding him.
We have average 30 percentile, right? From the polling we just took. Pause. So I'm going to say this. That's pretty shitty, right? If you're talking about 30% of women, that means 2/3 are a wash. That's trash. If you put them in the room and then you talk about how many guys that actually want to get married and you look at those numbers, 30% is shitty. There's nothing that you would do. If you felt like there was a 30% chance of you going ahead and making this investment here and you was going to come off, you wouldn't do that. Nobody operates like that. There's no decisions that we make in our lives that we take a 30% shot on. And that's what we're saying. 30% is pretty shitty, right? And what we have to understand is that the baseline is just different. The women's standards are different, right? You heard people talk about inflation before. Women are objectively worse when it comes to men's standards, meaning that they are not virgins like they used to be. They expect way more, right? I heard you mention cats need to have Riz and all of that. That doesn't just fall out of the sky. That's something that's learned behavior, right?
Which
that
is why
wasn't
I said
expected
there's something
before.
wrong with them.
Okay, there's
Hold on,
something wrong
Biz.
with
I got
them.
a
So
question.
it's not a mental condition because they don't have Riz. That's just something that they might have a weakness at, right? Or maybe they're just vertically challenged. It's a lot of different reasons why women decide to reject you, right? So I know that there's some dudes who's going to be able to go ahead and survive in any dating market. I get it, and there's certain things you can do to do that. But unless you are out here like actively doing all types of crazy shit, you're gonna have crazy bread. You're gonna have to be in the gym. And I always encourage men to do these things, but those weren't the standards before. And after you do all that shit, you still have 30% odds to pull from. And these women all think that they're better than they are. That's the problem. Not all, but most of them think that they rank way higher than they do in real life. So they won't date most of the dudes. And we already know about the 80-20 rule applies to the women now too, where the most 80% of the women, what are they seeing? 20% of the guys, because that bottom 80% is completely invisible to them. For most women, that's the problem. So they're not even looking in your direction, right? There's a lot of things you can do to mitigate the problems here, but on average, it's not that easy for dudes to do it. I talk to a lot of dudes and I talk to a lot of women. That's what I do on a regular basis. And again, I'll be outside. I talk to people in their 20s that's in a dating game. There's some dudes who's doing it. I run around with a lot of savages too that could get it, but it's not the norm, right? That you got to go through some conditioning to be like that. You got to be one of the dudes that's like that. And if you like that, then you can go ahead and go anywhere and get these women. But just because you can do it doesn't mean that you fucked up, because that's not your specialty.
Trev,
hold on.
How many dudes are married?
Let me get Luis. Let me just check with Luis. I know you've been quiet. You got anything you want to add, Luis?
Yeah, I think one component that we didn't really take into account is that it's really based on your geographic location. You might just be in a market or in an area that you might not find a lot of eligible, bachelorettes that might appease you. Now, once you're in a bigger city, it's a completely different game, right? But it just depends. Like, do you want a woman that, embodies the certain qualities of a much larger city, or do you want the more slower pace, more subtle, you want to slow down, you want to settle down kind of, location? I just think it's really based geographically. I think a lot of brothers, if you're in like a city like Miami or a large city like New York, where you run into someone and you'll probably never see them again, right? It's just a completely different dating experience, right? And a lot of people who live in those markets or in those cities could probably attest. I think the better option is probably close close connection dating. You know what I'm saying? Within network. You know, people who know people who are in close proximity that they could vouch for, that they're like, well, I know Anna, like I've known Anna for 10 years, et cetera, right? And, you know, she's an amazing person. And that's how you make those introductions to people who you know, who are already vetted through other people. You trying to vet someone and get to know someone from ground zero. You have absolutely nothing, and you're investing all this time, money, etc., and then it comes to a dead end. And then you repeat that cycle 3, 4, 5, 8 times. You're going to get burned out at some point, and you want to give up. And you're like, what am I doing wrong? So there are truths to these situations, right? I think it's really largely based in the market in which you're probably dating in. Right here.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
another part,
kind of in the
real
same
quick.
boat.
Go ahead.
My
Go
bad.
ahead.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as Trev with this. Look, I talk to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of women every week on my show. Every week, I have at least 3 to 4 women sit on my couch, and I'm just telling you the percentile of who I come across that sound like they got some damn sense and have any kind of, you know what I'm saying? And they're from all walks of life. I find them however I can to bring them on the show. And I'm just saying, hearing from them, hearing from the brothers that I have come on the show, hearing from my nephews that are 26, 22, and them and all they guys, they all successful college graduate young men doing their thing. And I'm telling you, it's difficult because a lot of them are fried. So when I say 20, 30%, that means that 70%, if we go with the number Vid said, 70% is a problem. So yeah, you got to think about that. If only we're looking at 20, 30% of them being marriage material types, right? What is that small percentile looking at? Because you know they say 1 out of 10 men is somebody they'll look at, right? So it's just like, come on, man.
Are we talking about just black women?
Scarce.
Well,
Yeah. That's
are we
what I'm
talking about
saying.
just black women?
For me, yeah. You know what I'm saying? For me and mine, yeah. You
I
dig?
say
mean,
Western.
Well, let me say
Western.
this, and let me say this, and I say this respectfully. If I was a young man, or if I was a man that was in search of a wife, I absolutely wouldn't consider a female that would even go on a podcast. Just to keep it a buck. That's a type of woman that I'm not interested in. So when I look into an audience,
drop him, because he gonna stop people from coming on the podcast.
Hey, I say that respectfully, but I understand that this is his own world. But if I walk into a room and it's 10 chicks in there, and I see 3 of them that I see as potential, that's a good odd for me. You know what I'm saying? I think that those are great odds, because all the other niggas, they damn near gonna be looking at the other 7 that's not wife material. So for me, 3 is a really good number to walk into if it's 10 chicks in there. All you need is 1. I feel like we just we're complicating something that's not complicated. It's you. I 100% agree with Louise. You network within your circle and see who you vibe with. All right, I see that they move like this. I'm seeing that this is their patterns. This is who they hang around with. But again, instead, most dudes are looking for the chicks that's on IG, you know what I'm saying, showing their body, they doing all of this stuff. They're not wife material, but yet we want to wife them. You gotta keep it a buck with yourself.
Hey, am I mistaken? 6 out of the 10 of us up here are married. 6 out of 10 niggas up here married. Right?
Yeah.
So Trev, my question is, what percentage of men are marriage material?
I think it's more than 30. If I had to say marriage, I'd say probably about 60.
You think 60% of black men are married?
I think it could be anybody though, man. Like,
yeah.
you guys all do that impress your woman energy. You know, I think in that space, some guys might be able to be the dude that the woman thinks that they are, and maybe they can upgrade, you know, if they motivated.
We back to this. The qualifier for being a good man and upstanding and upright within society is being married.
Who said that?
I mean, that's kind of what we nailed it out to be.
Lewis, you married?
No, I'm not.
So you
I think it's more of a status symbol for the woman. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hold on, Tyrone.
But no,
So that
I
means
think
if
really,
you're not married, because I think you fit all the boxes, all the check marks. Handsome, well-to-do, you know, even keel, cool guy to be around. Get a lot of ladies. You ain't find your lottery ticket yet, did you?
No.
Are you looking for it?
I am. I'm actually talking to one right now.
So watch this, Lewis. Something's definitely wrong with you.
He just said he's talking to one now. How old are you, Louis?
Something's definitely wrong with you.
How old are you?
38.
Okay. And how long have you been avidly searching for a wife?
In a serious manner?
Yeah.
Probably on and off, probably for the last 2 years.
Okay.
So really, you only be looking 2 years, and you got somebody right now that you kind of think
that's serious. Yeah,
it's pending. It's pending.
So,
but is that about average? Is that about average or no? Am I off? Trev.
I'm sorry.
Like when men
what about
when men
average?
get to it like a man looking for a wife seriously, like once he hit 30s, mid-30s or whatever. Because by that time you settled into your career.
It depends on the culture. If we're talking about us, then yeah, about 30.
Because you've hit your career, you've kind of settled in on who you are. You might be tired of running around and playing and dipping and diving and woo, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, most men are starting their career by 30. But if we're gonna really, it depends on what route you go in.
A lot of men don't wait till they get all the way up into their career to get married, though. You know what I mean? Those aren't
no, I agree with that.
Parallel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this clip.
So by what is said, something is wrong with you because you haven't found your forever. It's very easy.
He just said that he has a potential right now.
Not
so
yelling.
What are you talking about?
I'm not doing it.
No, let Kenny cook. I want to see where you're going with this.
So
Nigga
now
ain't cooking shit, boy.
Says the man that had to push a button on Facebook to find his girl. He couldn't go out there and find it the regular way. He couldn't go to a park bench. He couldn't go to a club or church or anywhere. He went through a list of friends, and one female said, I'm going to talk back to you online, and that's where you found your forever.
You try to make that punch, but it falls flat. Like that.
Wait, am I lying on
just
you?
Because I met her on Facebook, I supposedly don't know how to go and get women. I've never had an issue with getting a woman.
Your story
That's why I
falls
speak against
flat
it.
when you couldn't do it off of the internet.
That sounds stupid.
And that holds weight. And I'm gonna say it again.
It's easy as hell to meet somebody on the internet.
Anybody that don't
in order
have
for
what
you to
believe they
retain
should
that
have,
person,
remember
that takes a lot more work. You got to be able to do. You got to be able to retain. Regardless
if you
go
online, you had to go online. All the
didn't
stuff
have
that
to.
you knock, all the stuff that you knock.
Okay, I was going to get back on. Make sure we get back on task, y'all. Let me go ahead and play this.
Got you, Skipper.
Let me go ahead and play this.
Everything that you said, I'm speaking truth. Everything that you disqualified
that's not speaking truth. You saying that I had to go online. I didn't have to go online. What the fuck are you talking about? They got tattooed for 15 years. I bounced at a club. I'm in the gym. But I don't have no issue with getting no female if I wanted one. Just because I met her online doesn't mean shit, bro. I met her online, and guess what? I kept her. That's what matters.
You know what matters? When you're out here disqualifying and disrespecting men that don't have that.
Who
just
did
because
I
you have it, but
disqualify?
when they look, when you lift up the bed sheets and saw how you did it, Mr. In the gym, Mr. Bouncer, Mr.
Yeah, I'm
Mr.
outside.
Everything. Wait,
I
Mr. No, you
interact
was
with
inside. No,
motherfuckers.
you was inside when you did that. You was inside.
Nigga, I was outside. You know, you can take people that don't have Obama phones, they can go outside and be out in the world to use their data on the phone that they got.
You forgot where I work.
That's what normal people do now.
You forgot where I work, so that jab don't work. So slow down. So here's the thing: with all the qualifiers that you gave, you still had to be inside pressing buttons. So your story falls flat. And the biggest part that I'm trying to point out, because people think I'm petty and being condescending and just coming up here to needle you, you denigrate and belittle other people, and you didn't do it that way. So that makes you look like a hypocrite.
Silly as hell.
I qualify. I go to the gym. I'm supposed to be good looking. I got dreads down my back. I got all things. I'm a bouncer, but I had to find mines online.
Yeah, because that was the pool that I wanted to pull out of. What's wrong with that?
You don't see nothing wrong with it?
No, I don't. I don't. If I can use the internet to access,
you just disqualified all them machismo things that you put on the table because you couldn't find something outside. It tells everybody a straight story when you stop lying.
I could find something
You're not
outside.
the man you thought you was.
That wasn't what I chose.
Was not the man. You weren't the man you thought you was.
I had options. That's what happens when
you
have
you had options. You had a friend
Okay,
list of 25, 50, 100. You sent all of them
All
messages.
right, I didn't
send them all messages.
Right. Neutral corners. Neutral corners.
That's what you got to do. You got to send them the messages.
Yes, let me play this clip. Here we go.
Never.
But even as men, it's like we tend to be able to sustain the areas in which we are experts. So it's like I could fuck with a chick that live a certain lifestyle. Like I go to the club every now and again. That's the nigga side of me. I love going to the club, buying bottles. Like that's who I am. I got to. I'm a strip club. I'm doing it. Like give fuck what y'all think. I'm going. I take my girl with me. We out if I'm once I'm back in one. But the fact of the matter is like I also understand that I wouldn't be able to sustain a lifestyle of a woman that's in nightlife. It's not an issue with it.
Been there.
But it's like if I was in nightlife, I could sustain that because it's like it makes sense. Like I look at it like this: if your lifestyle contradicts mine, then it won't work. So if you're vegan and I'm not, it's not gonna work. It's not to say that we can't try. Not to say that it's not people that cook 2 dinners. Like, but when you think about organically sustaining, it's like it creates an unnecessary obstacle. So it's like if my woman go to work at 10 p.m. to a nightclub, right? That's her job, right? It's not like it's cool. But if I'm not a promoter or a DJ or something that I'm up at 3, 4 in the morning, I'm in the bed, I gotta get up at 6, it's not gonna sustain. And I feel like these are the things you gotta be conscious of as a man when you're picking your woman. You need to know what woman complements the lifestyle you live because as her protector, her lifestyle is always under your protection. So if she does things that doesn't align with where you had your ducks in a row, she'll find herself putting you in predicaments that you never would have been in if y'all never crossed paths. But here you are trying to create and sustain something that was never supposed to organically align. Maybe you met her at the club and you were supposed to fuck. That's cool. You wasn't supposed to make her your girl. Not to say you can't make club women your girls. It's just to say that you're not a club nigga. This was your motherfucking homie's bachelor party. You're out doing shit y'all never do. You work a regular job or you got a business that has you up at 7 in the morning and in bed by 8 p.m. But she going out the crib at 10. So now she call you, baby, somebody just smack my ass. You got to wake up out your bed, out your comfort zone to come do something that you would have never did. But if you find a woman that's in alignment with what you do, if you naturally go to the gym, it don't mean y'all got to go to the same gym, but you have more in common. If you naturally love movies, she don't got to love movies. It would make sense to not make with somebody that hate movies. It's like that's where it comes down to being able to understand you as a person. Like when I say men search for completion, it's like I'm looking not for a woman to complete me, like I'm not already complete as an individual, but it's just saying that I don't want this to dote off what I'm naturally building. I want it to be an asset to what I got going on versus it being a distraction. And that's how it could become a distraction where you're like, damn, I can't seem to get everything going because y'all was never supposed to sustain. When I go to the Grand Rising pool, because I know they deep in the bag, like we could have this sex because energy is so attractive.
Man, energy is crazy.
They know they got that energy.
They
shit.
with the shits. But you got to be careful.
No, look, hold on.
It's not sustainable. You got to be careful.
I rebuke it. I know where you're going, and I rebuke it on the record. So, but I know where you're going with it, and that's why it's like you do. But at the same time, that's why you don't sustain it. You stay in your realm. You know it more than me, nigga. I'm a guest. Like,
yeah, you gotta be careful.
I'm a guest. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, but ultimately, I understand that like the woman that.
Do we got a bell-bottom scuba diver pants on?
Hey, but he makes a really good point. I think
Bro.
I think the process that men should take when dating is to become friends first with that woman. Once you become friends with her, then it's like, okay, I'm getting to learn. I'm learning to know who you are, what it is that you're about before I even take this serious, before I invest any money into you. If that's the route that you want to go to play it safe, I think that's the best route. That's the most organic route to go when you want to when you want to be with a woman. You're looking for a wife. But men don't want to do that in most cases.
Most girlfriends I have been just my woman.
Fight their way
Right.
out of the friend zone.
Say what, Lewis?
I said, so Viz, you want men to fight and climb out of the friend zone.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
if the chick likes you, she's not going to put you in the friend zone. And I'm not saying that, oh, this is my buddy. I'm saying build an organic relationship with her to understand and know who she is, because then that's when you get to avoid whatever walls or whatever fake personality that she may be putting up. I get to know who you are first, and then we can go from there. Then I've done my job of vetting this person to where it's like, okay, I'm ready to move forward.
I do believe in the vetting, man. Look, I believe in the vetting, but I do let a woman know, like, we're cool now, but I do want to put my penis in you as soon as possible. So if I need to buy you a meal or take you to a movie, whatever speeds us along, but I'm cool with being friends. But this is my goal. Ultimately.
That's the obvious though, bro. Like,
but I think you gotta let them know though, because like they'll slip you in the friend zone and forget you there, and won't be no action.
Well, then you're not that guy. Then you're not that guy. Then she's not the one for you. Then we're making this so complicated. And I don't understand why. I understand what you're saying, right? I'm not saying go up to the chick and immediately get friend zone. What I'm saying is find out who she is. Find out if is this really what I want to invest in if I'm looking for a wife. If I just want to fuck around with her, if I just want to crack, then hey, go about it that route. But if you think that this is something serious, that you really enjoy this person, then yeah, if she likes you, there is no friend zone.
Now, Viz, you're right about that. Men have to dictate the pace of the relationship. Once you allow a woman to dictate the pace or direction of the relationship, you already lost. So you're right about that. That's just crazy. You can't and I don't think being that forward with females, Tyrone, is that effective. Especially you trying to bone, like females. To me, they be sounding like they kind of want to get tricked into it or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like
they want no responsibility for it.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want any accountability for it. So they're not going to, you don't really want, you got to kind of Trojan horse it in a way, right? Like they're going to kind of know that that's your intentions, but you don't want to like put it out there like that. You're going to get deaded a lot with that kind of strategy.
No, because I'm creepy, but I'm charming though. So it kind of it smooths over. It works out for me.
Hold on. Hold on now. What my man Ty's telling, he's pretty much telling, he's lying to these heifers to get what he need to get to get that goddamn 20 minutes.
I do the opposite. I tell them extreme truth. I take the opposite of that.
But
I don't know.
No, that's what I'm saying. Maybe I just misspoke. Hold on. Sound like Trev said we should trick the women into getting that ass. So you pretty much want us to lie. Tyrone's pretty much saying, I'm being honest with these heifers. I just want your ass.
All right. So there's a bit.
I'm not putting a ring on it. I just want 20 goddamn minutes.
And it's a numbers game. I got way more bloopers than I got highlights. Let me just say that. But I do got highlights.
I believe that. I believe you do. So if that man's being honest with it, what's the problem? Because y'all gave me hell when I told y'all I lie to these hoes. The hoes don't deserve a goddamn truth. Y'all
right,
scared me, but this man's being honest, and now y'all making them feel bad. So they not going for that. No.
So Hank,
they look. I mean, Trev, we got to be honest, man. They rather live a lie than hear the goddamn truth.
there's nuance to it though, right? There's like you can't approach every single woman with the same game, right? And it depends on how much leverage you have. I find that if a female is more attracted to you, then you could do exactly what Tyrone is saying. You could say anything and you can't really miss, right? If a female is on you, she going, bro. Like you it doesn't matter. You dictate the pace of it, right? So that's the main thing. That's why I say, listen, for you to be in the best position possible, you have to get with women who are extremely attracted to you, right? And if you are attracting fives, then that's your speed. That's your game. You got to start running down them, start knocking them five down or wifing them up or whatever. So whatever female is giving you that energy, that's who you need to be with. And if you don't like the fact that fives are the only ones giving you burn, then guess what? You're going to have to improve. You're going to have to get better at something to attract sixes, sevens, eights, and work your weight class up. That's just how you got to do it. So the main thing is listen, men, you won't lose if you only deal with women who are attracted to you. And I can tell you this, some type of woman is going to be more attracted to you than you are attracted to her. That's your speed. And that's how you maintain your ism. Like for real, she has to be attracted to you more than you are to her. She got to really be feeling you. And whatever that looks like for you is where you stand in the marketplace. And if you don't like it, then improve.
Yeah, but Trev, most fives are average, right? That's average. That's average looking women. Most of us are average looking anyway. I mean, some of us may not want to admit these motherfuckers are average, but shit, that's what you are. It is what it is. And if you can knock down a five, you're doing pretty good for yourself.
Hey, Hank, they ain't no argument for me. I understand the bell curve. Most people are average. That's just the facts. We dig it. We dig
it. And fellas, some of them fives I had that nuke on them.
Man,
wait, what's the nuke?
Pussy falling off the bone.
Okay, because that could be that could be a bad thing too.
No, this the good
nuke. I heard that's stupid.
This the good nuke. You know what I'm saying? But again, if that's all that you can bag, then go for it. You know what I'm saying? I know plenty of guys that have no riz at all, but they cuffed up. They got them a nice young lady that loves them, and they got a family.
And sometimes that low level one. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
If that's all that you can get, or if that's what you're content with, that's what you're happy with, then accept it. That's what it is. That's what life is. So instead of steady going to look in that 70% of women that you're not going to get, that you don't want, be happy with that one that you got.
Look, this is my last point, and I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna say that I agree with you, and I think if you the lower level woman, she might give you the confidence to go for the woman that you really like. You get with her, you be like, you know what, my dick is big. I am handsome. Let me go let the girl I like really know. Now that you done built my confidence up, you might need that. Just saying, you can't. Sometimes you got to go to the lower steps to get higher. You can't just jump to level 10.
My man tired out here just using these heifers, boy. God damn.
Just saying,
Hey, he got the name and all. Oh man,
wild shit, man! This is some wild shit.
Let me go ahead and check in with Law.
I didn't get to really talk about the conditional love part of it. Look, a woman could say some of the wildest shit to you, and a man will still love her, put up with her, deal with her, and do what he does as his responsibility for a man. You say some wild shit to a woman, say some wild shit to a woman, say, man, you look a little heavy around the hips. She be ready to file the paperwork, man. She be ready to file the goddamn, ready to leave you right on the spot. Look, I was a victim to what somebody said on the show on a Hump Day Wednesday. Is that what it's called, JR? Is it called Hump Day? Goddamn. Well, you know what I mean. Woman said something about she ready to leave because the man lost his job and needed her to take over the bills for a couple months. She said, "No, I'm out. These chicks said I'm out. They not doing this." That's the why I said. So you love me with conditions? That's not unconditional. Unconditional, you should be right there with me and I'm going through my rough patch. If it means I take 3 to 4 months in order to get back on my feet, then so be it. But god damn, you ready to walk in, leave that Dear John letter on the fireplace? Because I just lost my job? I mean, yeah, you mean times are hard. I'm just saying, man. So we can't sit there and say most of these women love good unconditionally. I don't believe that, man. They have a lot of conditions. They be ready to let you go, file them paperwork, get up through.
I think you shouldn't be able to do it for that because the vows say for richer or poor, better or worse, sickness and in health. Like I don't need a woman around for richer. I could do good all by myself, you know? Like that's what I need my woman there for when the bad times.
But Tyrone, they said it's easy to find a woman that will adhere to all those doctrines and will see it through and won't leave you when your pockets are dry. And the same people are saying, yeah, that's true. They're pointing out these very things and they're spinning the block and making me look like maybe I'm not a hypocrite. Maybe I'm not that petty. Maybe they're finally letting it subside and say, you know what? It hurts my belly. But what he said was right.
Who said that, Gooch? Who said that?
Y'all gave
Put a name
more than enough qualifiers to show why a man has to be skeptical about giving it all, taking that leap of faith and believing that this woman would catch him. How many women that you know that you could jump off like a first floor landing and they can catch you successfully? I wouldn't.
It's a valid question.
But I always qualify. What I say, Hank, you're a lucky man if you could find your forever and find your lotto ticket. So am I really that petty? Or am I like more men that been through it? Because my story was I had a woman that loved me or professed that. When my tenants destroyed my $1.2 million place and I had to sell it, guess what she did?
I mean, I think
that gave a representation that
I think
she
you've
was
been through
with
some shit, but I think you are that petty too.
Okay, yeah.
If you
Let
conduct
it breathe.
yourself
Let
in
it
a
breathe.
way,
Let it breathe. Let it breathe.
if you conduct yourself
guarantee
in the
you.
manner that you do on the
Wow,
internet,
okay, so
I understand why she
I
left
don't
your ass.
trust no man with no long
It's
hair down his
clear.
back, first and foremost.
It's clear. It's clear
When
and
you were doing
evident why
this,
she left.
when you do this, I don't trust no man that do that when he talk to me reckless. So now that was your chance to think you could get back at me. I'm armored up. I hurt you with an internet comment. Guys had to pal in and help you. And I said, you found your forever. You missed that part. But don't disqualify other people and say that they're broken because they don't do it by some way that you didn't.
I tried, y'all. I tried to squash
What are you
hat on the
talking
squash
about?
the other day, man.
Am I wrong for saying that? You're disqualifying people for something that you didn't do that way. You're saying that they're broken. You denigrate, you belittle those people. Points are given, but you try to shame people, and you didn't do it the way that normal people do it. You found yours on the internet, but you found your forever. I gave that qualifier.
Hey Kenny,
I don't understand how are you
hold on.
so caught up on.
Biz, hold on. It's people in the chat that keep asking this question, like, what's wrong with him finding a woman on the internet?
I never said that there was anything wrong. He found his lotto ticket, but don't berate and denigrate other people for not doing it the way that you profess when you didn't do it that way.
Why do you keep saying that? Like I don't understand what's
okay,
your
I'm gonna
logic
say it again for the
that?
slow people. You knock on people, but you didn't do it the way that most people do it. You said, I'm the dude in the gym, I'm the bouncer, I'm the life of the party, I'm that dude. But you found yours online pressing buttons, and you said from your own mouth, you went through a couple, and this one gave you rhythm online. You felt her vibe online.
What's wrong
You
with
don't
that?
you don't see the disconnect?
The whole point of me pointing out me being outside and all that other shit is because I don't have a problem with going out and talking to women. So just so happened that I was friends with this woman on Facebook and we built a friendship, and then something else came from that. It happened organically, the same way that it would happen if I go outside and talk to a woman outside. It doesn't change. The only thing that changes is the person that I spoke to, the person that I connected with, and the person that I chose. So for you to continue to bring up, oh, you met her online, like
That's all
that's the
you
only
hear.
way, like that's the only way that I could meet a woman. That's completely false.
I qualify my statement. You care not to listen. I qualified my statement.
You keep mentioning me
need
meeting
Q-tip.
her on the internet. That carries no weight. That does not
Why? Okay,
change
so
my
you
point.
missed the part where I give you pushback. Stop denigrating people. You didn't do it the traditional way. You
I
found yours
did do it the
online, but you're
traditional
out
way.
here telling people that they're broken and something's wrong with them. But you didn't do it the natural way. You went
What
and pushed buttons.
I said, if you're not having sex in 2025 where you can go and pay for it, then yes, there's something wrong with you.
You said more than that. You said if someone is not in a healthy, gainful relationship before you qualified that there's something wrong with them. Then you had others piling saying, with all these women did the numbers and said that it should be easy for you to find a woman that you can cleave to. Easy. Then y'all spun the block. When the numbers was given by Trev, your whole story changed. You stopped with the 80,
story
you went
didn't
down to
change.
the 30. Wait, you went from the 80 down to the 30. Am I wrong? Did I miss something?
I said 80.
You said there was a large amount of women out there. You can find it. It's easy. When the numbers were given to you, you said it was a low percentage. Did you not?
That 30% is a high percentage to me.
All right, y'all. We gotta go ahead.
I don't know how many times I gotta keep
other folks,
saying
man.
the same shit over and over.
All right, go ahead, Outlaw. You on mute just so you know.
No, I was just saying, I tried, man. I tried like last week to try and get them to, but that knife, they gonna
I
fight
tried.
to the death, man.
I
know.
tried.
I saw y'all try.
I kept.
It lasted about a day.
All right,
You know what I'm saying?
Let's get back on topic. Let's get back on topic. And why you haven't spoken on it too, man. I mean, basically up in that last clip, he was just talking about finding somebody that aligns with your lifestyle, that aligns with you, which I think, which I do think a lot of men do feel that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you definitely have to. You can't you see these brothers that try and get one out the strip club and then be mad that she's stripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. You can't do that. Or or a woman, she are you in the streets? Well, you knew he was a street nigga when you got him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, you gotta get with who you align with. You know what I'm saying? Shout out one of my brothers, man. But he was at the time an aspiring rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, it only made sense for him to get with a dancer. You know what I'm saying? And it worked out worked out pretty well for him at the time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, get with somebody that's in that life that y'all can complement each other, because if you a school teacher and she, like he said, and she a dancer or something, might not work out too well if she out at the club all night and you at work all day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely agree with him on that.
You got to be able to look at where you are now and gauge where you want to be as well. Because that same chick that you met in the strip club, she might not be good for you for the end goal that you want to reach. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, she just might be, if she has goals as well that doesn't just end at the strip club. You know what I'm saying? So I think men still, I think people make decisions on what they feel now, much rather than taking into consideration what will come 5, 10, 20 years down the line. Because if this woman isn't going to invest nothing into me that I know is going to be beneficial once I turn 40, 50, 60 years old, then you're wasting your time.
All right, go ahead, Rilla.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what Luis was saying in terms of, dating, within your circle, right? Your circle of influence, your social circle, right? So like I've known my wife since high school, right? And we reconnected later in life. My son, him and his woman have known each other since high school, and he's 22 now, right? So they've been together since high school. So I agree with that, right? But I also think that a big component that we're leaving out, because it's not, I'm an entertainer, you an entertainer, let's entertain together, because that don't always work out, right? But I do think the part that we leaving out, or we haven't addressed yet, is making sure we talk about being on purpose and stuff like that, right? But you if you intentional about looking for a help me, you got to give her something to help. You got to give her something to help. If there's nothing for her to help, there's no reason for you to be out here searching. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm staying on big business. Some good women out here, man. I think a lot of good sisters get looked over because there are some among us, we having our fun. You know what I'm saying? When I was in the A, I had it my way. 7 ways to Sunday. You understand what I'm saying? And I had a cold mouthpiece about mine. I had no issues with talking to people, to females that I qualified for. So that's the other caveat, right? Like I was very clear and understood the type of female I qualified for. You understand what I'm saying? I had no problem with getting that. But when I got intentional about settling down and being serious, I aligned, I conducted and carried myself in a way that positioned me to do that. And I'm gonna yield that mic.
I think really that interesting point you had was well, it brought this thought to my mind. If you're not meeting a woman in a club and you're not meeting them in social settings that you create yourself, are you the type of man that your friend will hook up with his sister? I think that's something to ask, because that social circle might be even better than anything, because your man ain't gonna put you with a bogus, you know what I'm saying? And if he feel confident in putting you on with his sister, it's probably a good chance that he wants the relationship could work, y'all might be compatible. But two, he then pre-vetting for you, because he knows, like, you gonna come back to him like, man, your sister is XYZ. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, that's something to think about. If your friend got a single sister, maybe figure out why they haven't put you on her, or tried to, at least, if you're attracted to her. I don't know. That's the thought I got when you were speaking, really.
Man, I would almost say just in general though, right? If you know a guy or a male friend, and they know somebody that they know is a good person, they like, man, you know what? Man, Tyrone cool as hell, man. I think he'll like he'll like Kelly. And that's how something happens. But the only way that happens is if you are a good man. So if that's not happening, if that's never happened, then you need to take the time to self-reflect, look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, what can I change and make better? Because apparently no one else may see this or think this way to even mention my name in certain rooms.
Let me get to these couple of super chats and then I'll just run this. Caesar Palace $20 says it is dangerous for Black men to date a single mother with kids. What does that say? No Parentage by like Esther Pill. What's that? A book? What is that?
Man.
Oh, it's a legal doctrine. It means if any man that spends time with the child, the mother can take you to court and put you on child support. Look it up. Yeah, Christopher Matthews with the big bucks. Appreciate you, sir. $50. Men need to move differently and find the woman that's for you. It's not too many good out here unless you go to the art show or museum, which is what Rilla was saying. I do not want a 304 or from the street. Women's standards is too high. It's too difficult to find one. And lastly, Caesar Palace, $10 says, why do we always talk down on black men? The most black men are only going after models and Instagram girls. We already said most people are average, and that's who we date. So let's be honest about the conversation. I want to thank everybody that's contributed to the platform. Shout out to the sponsor of the show, Christopher Matthews. Just run this last clip, and then we'll go ahead and talk about it.
The whole alpha male concept is a myth. When you study it, I break it down as well. There is no battle between two wolves to see who's going to lead the wolf pack. The leaders of the wolf pack are the breeding pair, the male and female.
Today years old.
Listen, you can Google that. It's out there. So in other words, from a human standpoint, the alpha wolves are those that are married. And then when you look at my brothers who often proudly boast being alpha, when you really look at them, when I meet with them, they're trying to hide behind the childhood trauma, the insecurities, the fears. Your whole embodiment is to please women, from the glasses to the cigars, to the big Bugattis, to the Ferraris, to the shoes, to the clothes. But yet you're the alpha, but yet your whole life is geared around pleasing women. And we don't see it because we've been conditioned to believe that we are to lead by intimidation. Those aren't the greatest leaders. If that was the case, we would have great peace in this world. So I lead by example, not intimidation. And that's why it's important, especially for our young brothers. You know, I had made an acronym for the word thug, which is a traumatized human unable to grieve. And so that's why if I step on your shoe, you're ready to hit me or pull your gun out and shoot me, why you can't take disrespect, you can't even process it to keep yourself in an advantageous position. Now you do something, you react instead of respond. Now you like this and the police taking you away. And you lost the real fight because you haven't ruled your emotions. You only got two characteristics, provide and protect. And you don't even know how to do those well. We provide for everyone else but us, brother. And I ain't talking about financially, but being able to rest.
Yeah.
You know, and we understand sleep, which is a physical act of just resting. But rest is the spiritual act. Rest is Hebrew for Sabbath.
Yeah.
It restores you completely. That's why brothers have a hard time taking naps when their wives come home. We jump up like, I gotta keep working. Our identity, when you're only masculine, your identity is in doing. You're not a human being, you're a human doing. I gotta keep moving, I gotta keep working, I gotta keep grinding. When you look at the word grinding, we know as men of God that words are powerful. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. The word grinding means to wear down, to crush, to oppress. You yell grinding in a machinery shop, they hitting stop, boom, stop, something's wrong. Because when you're grinding, you're wearing down. That's why the majority of people who say they grind look wore out.
Yeah.
And so I believe that the Most High has called me, like, men are tired of suffering in silence. We see now, like, wait a minute, there's more to life than just doing.
Right.
But until you have enough courage to be authentic and really express, like really allow like Christ to live through you, you'll never really fulfill what you're called to do. And that's why I'm thankful for my mom, that experience. I never thought I would be thankful that my mother developed dementia and I had to endure all that I had. But now, where I am as a man, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
All right, so he talked about that alpha male concept, man. What are your thoughts about what he said? Y'all agree, disagree?
I don't know, man. He was kind of all over the place for me. You know what I'm saying? I picked up some things he was saying, but I guess, you know what I mean? I don't really be cut me out. Yeah, I can't.
Look at God. Look at God. Look at the Lord blaspheming. Hey, shout out to you for playing that, JR. I didn't expect to see that. That's the good brother Jason Wilson and Lecrae in the the book he has coming on the 28th is The Man the Moment Demands. That conversation around the alpha or what have you, like that's been discussed ad nauseum. But the thing that he introduced in terms of compare, and I'm still trying to unpack that, the true alphas as it relates to humans are the ones that are married. I'm not sure. I have to go back and listen to that podcast. I haven't listened to it yet. But it's a very dope clip, man. I support the work that the brother is doing. He's really trying to help a lot of young boys with the Cave of Adullam, and then help a lot of men that are experiencing trauma to unpack a lot of that stuff. So I get what you're saying, Law. It kind of was, but I think that was the conversation. Yeah. I think that was the conversation that they were having. I don't know that there was one specific thing that he was supposed to hit on.
Yeah, like I did just want to focus on that alpha male concept. It was right in the beginning. I just played the little snippet. The rest of it just kind of carried over. Y'all might have got lost, but just focus on the alpha male concept.
The whole alpha male concept is a myth. When you study it, I break it down as well. There is no battle between two wolves to see who's going to lead the wolf pack. The leaders of the wolf pack are the breeding pair, the male and female.
Today years old.
Listen, you can Google that. It's out there. So in other words, from a human standpoint, the alpha wolves are those that are married. And then when you look at my brothers who often proudly boast being alpha, when you really look at them, when I meet with them, they're trying to hide behind the childhood trauma, the insecurities, the fears. Your whole embodiment is to please women, from the glasses to the cigars, to the big Bugattis, to the Ferraris, to the shoes, to the clothes. But yet you're the alpha, but yet your whole life is geared around pleasing women. And we don't see it because we've been conditioned to believe that we are to lead by intimidation. Those aren't the greatest leaders. If that was the case, we would have great peace in this world. So I lead by example.
All
right. Yeah. After hearing it a second time, yeah, I mean, I guess, bro, you could take any example from nature you want. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. You can, if you want to, denounce that, you can look at a different animal. Look at lions, right? There is an alpha male. Now, I do know that's true to be with wolves, but we not dogs out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really, you can say that. And I always talk about that with Sherm. We always say, you do garner a lot more respect in certain rooms when you are married. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean I don't know where he was correlating, like, oh, it's a weak, you're not an alpha male if you're doing things to attract women. I don't really see how that correlates.
I don't think he was saying that. I think he was saying that not so much that they not alpha males because they doing these things to attract women, but because they made their personality about appeasing base desires of women, as opposed to actually leading something. The wolf pack, and the way I interpret it, would be extrapolated into the family. So you have people following you as a leader of that herd, or the leader of that pack, or leader of that group. And like, even if you use like the lions, they operate the same way. It's the breeding pair. It may be multiple women or multiple lionesses, but it's one male lion, and that's the leader of that.
That's the alpha, right?
Yeah. Like I agree. I think that I was watching something the other day. I forget the name of the content creator, but he was talking about how currently the reason that Drake and the Kendrick thing is going so bad for Drake is because Drake is a beta king. And he was like, I normally don't use these terms alpha, beta, XYZ, but Drake insecurity is the reason that he, be attacked. Like every rap battle get in, he tries to attack that family structure because that's not something he has. And based off of that, it drives him to do what he described as what the alpha male per se would do, and care about the cigar, the Bugatti, the glasses, XYZ. And it's kind of out of law with hip hop, which is why it was such a push to set it straight. But adversely, I think it's out of law with nature to view men as people that are to remain single and just fuck bitches for the rest of your life. and have no desire to actually, move forward and start a family. So I agree with Jason on that point.
I got a question for you, Marcus, before you go, Trev. Is it possible to be married and not be considered an alpha? Like, what would
Absolutely.
disqualify you from not being an alpha if we use those terminologies to kind of break it down?
Again, I don't believe in the terminology like that. But to answer the question along the thread, I would say if you're in a relationship and you're taking orders and being belittled as a man, you putting up with things within a marriage that should not be acceptable, and you're saying the marriage is miserable because you're allowing these things to occur in a relationship where you're not being respected. You're not actually leading your family if they don't respect you, if your word don't have any meaning. So again, my main thing is if you're in a relationship with a woman and she does not respect your listening, you should not be in that relationship, let alone a fucking marriage. I think that's crazy. That's more to the point. You don't know how to draw boundaries and discern when people shouldn't be around you. So, yeah.
All right, let's go ahead, Trev.
All right, so I think Marcus hit it on the head with the just the word alone, insecurities, and I think that's the main point that he was making in the beginning of that video. Whereas a lot of these men are just caricatures of what they think an alpha should be. So they're trying to project the persona of what they feel like an alpha male is, but it's really not, right? And I think almost no one has a grip on how the socio-sexual hierarchy actually is, right? Everyone wants to be an alpha, but almost no one is. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because everyone is at least at the top of it. When you start getting down to the very bottom of it, like an omega, then yeah, they're not necessarily necessary. But everybody else, delta is extremely important. Those are your worker bees. Those are people who keep the country going, right? So all of those are important. People don't even understand it. Most of us are using the term beta wrong, right? Because the beta would be directly under an alpha, which would basically be equivalent to like a vice president. And most people would not disrespect a vice president. So most of us don't even understand how it really works. We're just thinking of alpha and beta, and it doesn't really work like that. There's so many more inside of the socio-sexual hierarchy. And I think that's the problem. Everyone is trying to be an alpha because you don't really get any respect unless you are. But that's not how most of us operate. And it's not necessary for us to operate like that. There are some people who are designed to lead, and then some people who are designed to keep it going. And it doesn't mean that you're of any less significance. You don't hold that particular title. We all are as important, maybe not equally important, but we should be equally respected, right? And I understand how people really want to be that, and that's where he's talking about like this. It sounded like he was describing Andrew Tate to me with the cigars and the Bugattis and the and all of that. But again, it really is just a caricature of what they feel like it should be like, and to me, it shows weakness, right? It absolutely insecurity, because if you feel like you have to project that all the time, then you don't understand how it works. You're not leading anything. You're not being constructive. You're not contributing to society. People who are alphas don't need to claim it, right? You don't have to say anything. The people who see you step into the room will understand it. It's not to be. No one has to say it. That's a problem, and that's the whole list exactly in order. And all of those are important. I could describe each of those, but it's like, yeah, people need to understand that it's not just alphas and betas out here.
Yeah, the word is definitely thrown around. I think that I believe that I believe that you can be an alpha if you understand your role. We can all be in the same room, and maybe Rilla, he's stronger in this area to lead this group of men because maybe he's the eldest, right? We all respect his elderhood. So us as alphas, we understand that in this area, in this space, we're going to let Rilla do his thing. But if we're in a different environment, then all right, I know this is Hink thing. So we're going to let him, you know what I'm saying, take lead. I think that's what an alpha is, in my opinion. You understand your role, and when the time comes, you show up and do what it is that's expected of you.
Yeah, let me piggyback off that real quick. So I told JR a long time ago, like, if you Jordan, I'm Pippen. I know my role. In my real life, in my everyday, like, I'm a leader of people. Like, that's what I get paid to do. I lead people. That's at work. But because I do want brothers to understand, like, knowing your role is pivotal. It's crucial. You got to know how to read the room and how to play your part. If Pippen was trying to be Jordan when he should have been Pippen, we wouldn't have 6 rings. We would not have 6 rings. You understand what I'm saying? Or if Rodman was trying to be Pippen, or Derek Harper was trying to be Jordan. You understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody got to know how to play their position, in 1000%. You are not alpha all the time. I think that I'm about to curse. That I think that word gets thrown around way too loose, and people have no idea. You're just masking and projecting some of that insecurity and hurt. We see that in gang culture. A lot of cats that thump their chest, claiming to be, they done made chief, or they done made lieutenant, they done made general, whatever they calling over, right? That's just them. There's a little boy deep down inside scared. You understand what I'm saying? He just ain't had a hug from his daddy or somebody. You understand what I'm saying? So I think just knowing your role and understanding that it's all fluid. It's all fluid. You're not an alpha 1000% of the time. I'm on mute.
Well, I know as far as that word, I don't really subscribe to that word. I mean, I just don't. But I know what a leader is. And I know what I need to do as a leader and what's my role in my home, in my life, and how I operate and move. So that alpha part, I don't really buy into the concept. I mean, I understand why people say it, and it's cool, you know what I'm saying? But I think like y'all fellas were saying, does the word get thrown around loose? Yeah, a lot of it do. Because some of these dudes that call themselves that's not what they are. Because when you find out what's really going on, they don't have their leadership. They not even showing at home. They kowtow to the wives. They kowtow to the girlfriends. To their own kids. The kids are more of a leaders in the household than they are. So no, I don't really buy into that concept. So, but that's just my opinion, though.
I think maybe with him bringing, and I was sitting on that too. Him saying that married men are alphas. I don't know. The only thing that I guess would make sense for him to say that is the sacrifice and also the vulnerability that comes with it. And I know that inherently as men, especially black men, I think all of the men on the panel can agree that those two things, especially early in our as a teenager and as being a young man, those are things that is extremely difficult to consider or even balance. So maybe that's part of why he said that, I would assume, just with the context.
Go ahead, Kenny.
This goes back. If I bash what he says, I'm the bad guy. I'm Mr. Insecure. I don't measure up. So you can't have a win with these situations. You could be a man's man, do what you're supposed to do, but not adhere to what he puts on the table, but you're living wrong. You're not the best man that you can be. And that's the pushback that I'll always give you. They say a man should lead with his purpose, right? His purpose it supersedes marriage for some. But then you would say, because I didn't follow the qualifiers that you did to put in your life to make you the man you are, I didn't make it. I'm damaged. Something's wrong with how I see things or how
Are you
my
referring to
value
me?
is in this world. No.
Are you? Oh, okay.
So I get the poetry in it, but it sounds sweet for a book. But I'm not buying into that is the end all to be all for you to be the best man that you can be. Being cleaved to a woman, that is a beautiful thing to have. It's great to have your lotto ticket, but if you work hard, you ain't have to wait for 1 in a million shot. Just be comfortable with the outcomes that you live by.
I don't think that anyone ever said that if you aren't married, then you're not the best man that you can be, or that you can achieve your highest potential. I for one know I've never said that, because that's not how I feel. If a person doesn't want to wed, then that's on you. That's your own decision as a man. That as long as you're doing the service to your society and paying back the debts that's owed as a man to society, then if you're married or not, I think that's irrelevant. It's all about what type of man are you? What's your character? What is it that you contribute back to society? That's how we ultimately judge men. As we all agree, do you get more brownie points for being married? Absolutely. But that's because of what society is, what it is that we all adhere to and agree with. But just because a man isn't married, now if you're out hoeing and you slinging dick everywhere, you making babies and all this other stuff, broken families, then absolutely. Now you're doing a disservice. But I want to say Nikola Tesla, he never got married because he was focused on his craft. Paul, he never got married because he was focused on his craft. So if that's the role that you have to take in order to be in your purpose, or to carry out what it is that fulfills you, then by all means do that. I think the confusion or the argument may come in play when someone says when a person makes excuses for not being able to do it or to find it, or they say that they're content with it and they're not actually content. That's what comes with it, as far as with the pushback, in my opinion.
I think when it comes to
go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think when it comes to where people say, married men are alphas, I don't think that's necessarily true, but I can see where the positives are. You know what I mean? Not only just being married, but building a family, right? You know what I mean? That's something that I think gives you, it's worth some credit. If you're building successful offspring and they continuously do it behind your teachings, I think that's something that gives, that's something to give credit to, because it's not an easy task and not everybody is willing to take on that. We know how hard it is, as like we said, most of us, a few of us on here are married. So like, just being able to actually do it the right way, go through it the right way with your wife, and raise these children. When you hear all these horror stories about the failed marriages and the failed families and broken homes, for you to not have that and to have a successful home, that is something to kind of I would say uphold and kind of look forward to. So yeah.
All right. What's going on, Fox Dad? How you doing? Welcome to the show, brother. What you got for us?
Hey, man. I just chimed in. I love the show. I've been tuning in, and I think my bro, hey, Mark, Marcus, me and you be disagreeing sometimes, but I be on the way to work, so I be like, this boy doing that pimp talk. It's Chicago style. But it is what it is. Hey, Chicago, you probably in the neighborhood, and Biz, and when y'all talk slick, I just can't agree. I'm sorry. I appreciate this conversation and this synergy, but I gotta agree with what Kenny's doing. Like Kenny got the whole serious look. I was listening for a minute, man. You got points. Like I'm gonna leave that there. So just chiming in. You got any questions for me before I clock out? Because I was just saying hi.
So Fox, the points that you agree with is to be cautious with choosing a woman.
Choosing a 3 or 4 versus a high quality woman. Yes, sir.
I don't. I would say no one on this panel disagree with that.
Okay, no, I didn't know. It seemed like y'all was going back and forth with it. So no,
yeah, just
I have a son I went to court with. No, I wouldn't recommend that. I'm not gonna play with you.
Right,
Fox. Which points you disagree with? What's the main points you disagree with?
I also disagree with the point when something's wrong with somebody because they're not married. Like marriage,
I never made that point.
Yeah, but marriage goes back to medieval times, guys. Like y'all talking about romance and somebody I love. A lot of it sounds like, as a teacher, I gotta be real with you, it sounds codependency issues. A lot of dudes is worried about dying old. Bottom line. But the coffin has place for one. So do what thou wilt with that, as Mason say, but stop playing. Women are a luxury. I tell my son that.
Why would what's wrong with not wanting to die alone?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a mental illness. You die alone. It's a known fact.
Right.
That's
So
the issue.
you said that you feel that is rooted in codependence.
Codependency, yes. That's a psychological term in mental health. When somebody dies, it's in animals too. I teach science. So if a pig that is married to another pig, right, male or female, and one dies, the other dies right along with it. It's codependency issues. I can't live without you. But human beings were always built that way. Just saying. But marriage was a social construct. It started in medieval times. What did we do before that?
Marry.
You said we're built to be codependent?
No, we were not built to be codependent.
Oh, no, I was asking to clarify.
No, if you're straight on an island, you're gonna die. You're gonna survive.
So Fox, did covenants exist before? You said marriage came into what, the medieval
religion now, so that's like going back to pagan before Christian times. So I don't even want to deal with that.
No. You said marriage came into play when the modern day concept of marriage came into play.
Modern day concept of marriage was developed through religion. Yes, it was.
Okay, what year? I thought I heard a year.
You go back to
medieval times.
I mean, yeah, I did say medieval times. Like I'm.
So what did they do before then? Were there families before then?
Okay, I'm not gonna do your homework because I gotta do grading tomorrow. But I will say this:
okay,
they cohabitated, sir. You in Chicago?
What?
They cohabitated, and there was no marriage contracts and none of that.
I got that. I understand that part, right? Okay. And so when I said covenant, you said, "Oh no, that's religion," right? So yeah. I asked because I get it. You're the teacher, right? So I asked because I was trying to.
But ask your question.
I'm good, Famo. I'm good.
Well, am I? I got students like you. I'm good too, Famo.
No, you don't have students like me, G.
I love you too.
Listen. You don't have students like me, G. Okay. I know the answers to what I'm asking you. I'm asking you to clarify because you pulled up on the stage with all the answers. So I'm asking clarifying questions.
Okay, this is where you're being a bully.
I'm not being a bully.
Okay, so
I asked you a question and you got problems.
Answer your question again, sir. It's real simple.
No. I'm good. Okay.
You get the grandstanding. I love
Fox, you. Are you married? Fox, are you married or have you been married?
I went to court for my son. I almost got married and I dipped out of that. Yeah.
So you've never been married?
Almost got married. No. Didn't see a reason.
Didn't see a reason.
Nope.
Okay. So you're okay with dying alone.
After no, I'm not okay with that. I'm very fine with that.
Are you codependent for not wanting to die alone?
No, I'm saying, but I'm like, no, I'm fine with it, sir. He had me tripping. I'm like, wait, I'm fine with it because I saw all the cases in family court where I saw men getting decimated by women. So it's like I had firsthand experience as a science person. Like, oh, that's not a good deal. So no, sir, from experience, no, I don't think it's a good idea. I could laugh all night long. I saw
From your
So,
own
Fox,
experience, or is it someone else's?
my own experience. I fought for my son in court. You didn't listen.
So
But no,
Fox,
I did listen. If you're fighting for your son in court, did that mean that you?
All right. So, good night, y'all. I love y'all.
Hold on, I have one
Love,
question for you,
love,
Fox.
Fox.
Real
We don't
quick.
need
Y'all playing jokes,
Hey,
and
we
I
can't
don't
even have a
like that. I don't know
conversation.
barbershop church no more. Y'all play too much. What you want?
No,
You
it's
proving the point.
I know, but it's cool. I got y'all. I teach your kids. Next question.
Yeah, I got one for you. So I know you said you had you didn't see a reason to get married, but what almost made you get married?
I saw that I might have had a son. My dad's a Marine, so he was like, you got to do the family thing. This is where I think some of our elders dropped the ball, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go in, And most of our guys are told to do that, man up and all that stuff. But when I got to that court and I saw what I saw, that I'm not a stupid mug. I ran to a brick wall. So it's like I almost did it because I was at the point where I had the kid with her. We was living together. And then I was just like, wait, something's wrong. Because she started mismanaging funds and all that. That boundaries talk and that pimp talk is cool. But women do what they want because, especially in this society, that don't work. Like they're selling, these old dudes be selling you some bogus lies. So it's like I took her to court just to get custody of my son. And now he's in college doing engineering. So it's like I don't really agree or subscribe to none of this, So that's why I almost married, but then I did my own investigation.
So it's been 20 years since then that you haven't found or even considered another woman.
Well, no, I got my female friends, but that's a different story.
Okay, so you got female friends that you date. So you're dating.
I'm dating, but what y'all be talking about don't align. I agree with you. Yeah.
What do you mean with it on the line?
That's a different day.
What does that mean?
So Fox, let me ask you a question, brother.
Yes, sir.
If your son came to you, he met a nice woman,
and
he said, "Dad, I'm thinking about marrying this woman." What would be your advice to your son?
I say, put her on ice, finish your engineering studies.
So say he does that.
And then what?
He gets his engineering studies done. He have a pick of the litter. What do you mean?
No, but what I'm saying, he gets it done, but he's still with this woman. He still finds interest enough to marry her.
Okay.
He asked you.
He had that situation already. He already iced her. I can't do hypotheticals because I deal with reality. He iced her because she was digging in his pockets. It was too much. And then you calling me to pay for her. I'm sorry, I'm not paying for some grown man's daughter to eat. Like he iced her. So I'm just being real with you. It wouldn't go down. It didn't go down.
So you're saying you're not telling him not to marry her. You just told him take care of your business and maybe circle back.
I say stay. You're right. Stay in touch. Let her get herself together because she's probably out there sewing her rollouts like some of these Negroes. And you finish engineering school. That's primary. Don't let these girls get your nose wide open. I don't care what these little street niggas tell you. No, get your books first. They talk a good game. Get your books first. You need stable income. That's what I tell him. And he iced her.
Okay, so I can agree with that because I told my son that too. I said you don't go to school just to play basketball. You go to school to come out and get that paperwork.
You break your leg.
And these tackles, they're gonna be there when you get done. I promise you. Now we should be telling our sons that. I don't have no problem with what he said. If that's what he told his son, I can agree with that. But our daughters, we need to be telling just the opposite. We need to be telling them to try to pursue a man as soon as possible. They always talk about marry young, so these women don't have a lot of experience. I could agree with that. Why do you want your son to Find a woman with a whole lot of experience. Yeah, that's a lot of trauma he got to deal with. He got to fight through. He's gonna have to handle. I don't think that's a good idea. But as far as what he's telling his son, I can agree with that.
Hank, did you call these heifers tack heads now?
Yeah, that's a new one.
That's
from the,
I ain't
that's from the
heard that
90s.
in
That's from the
years.
90s, bro.
Yeah.
Fox done.
My man Hank. Heifers
why
and tack
Go to the
heads.
heart, Rilla. Hey, Rilla, I'm an old country boy.
My man. Major Payne, what up?
What's going on, gentlemen? How you guys doing, man?
Hold on, Payne. I think NY wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was trying to ask Fox one question. Can you like tell me what you mean by the pep talk and the boundaries and how that doesn't work?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was who it was Viz. He said he was a bouncer. I used to do that a long time ago if I was a teacher, and just some of the language that goes on with strippers and stuff. I know. I'm born and raised in Chicago, and it's just like, yeah, I've talked to some guys. I've been in the game for a minute. Look, do that over there with your buddy, because I don't even like how you talking to me, and I have to do that with some people because I have to teach. I say I have one in a possible. I might have a daughter, but I'd be trying to tell her because I pay for a martial arts school. Some of these dudes, they talk real fast and slick.
Wait, hold on, man. You can't just blow over that. You said you got one in a possible.
In a
you might have
possible, we
daughter.
playing spades.
And he paying like he weigh. And he paying like he weigh.
What did I skip over?
What do you mean by that? What is
possible?
Wait, I just need to know, you from the North Pole, you out south, you out west, you over east.
I'm on Lakeshore.
What are you talking about?
Wait, so you got a possible. How old are you?
Oh, really? I'm almost 50.
Okay, you almost 50, and you think you have a possible?
Yeah. So
why don't
you go through all this? Okay, go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So I don't I don't think that anybody.
That's how they do the women. That's how they do the women. They just start grilling them, interviewing them.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, you good with your question? Anybody else?
I forgot what I was finna say.
Well, let me make a statement real fast, dog. I would definitely encourage you, Fox J, to find out that possible for sure or not. Ain't no need of playing games.
No, it's not playing games.
That girl yours.
No, it ain't like that. The mother, I'm alluding to the same point I made in family court. The mother doesn't want me to get a loan to do the Dana.
How
So
old is she?
it's back to our women. Like, I'm not playing this game. Y'all got loving feelings about how they go, but they got slick moves. So it's like, I'll figure that out when she get older and I get her alone, and I'll figure it out.
I got you.
How old is she, if you don't mind me asking?
Shoot, I paid for martial arts when she was up until 5. So she probably like maybe 7, 8.
Probably.
Yeah, you're really trying to grill me. Yeah, but about
that. We on King's Talk right now, bro. Possible and a probably.
No, it reminds me of Noble's talk.
Man, we got it.
Smoke cigars. I get it.
You say what?
Nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't even nothing. You ain't even got shit in that mug. That he was sipping ass. No, hey, but look, my whole point of bringing up the bouncing thing, that was solely off of me being outside. Again, if you're not into strippers, then don't try and date a stripper. If you're gonna go for a stripper, you gotta talk to them a certain type of way. You gotta treat them a certain type of way. And if
man,
you're not
Viz, stand on business, man. Pimping ain't dead hoes, just scared. Viz, stand on business, man.
I mean, hey,
that's why I expect.
Tell you stepping out. Hey, Vince, tell you stepping out with them now later flavors with the Maury Gators, man. Go ahead, man. Put it down, man.
Hey, man, it gotta be in you, not on you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't got
you gotta,
from a lot of old dudes.
Hey, I'm just gonna say, if you got a possible, you need to go and take her to court. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the same way I'll be on one of these women ass when they start saying shit like that, you got to do your due diligence, bro. You know what I'm saying? And stand on that.
I'm
You know what I'm
with that
saying?
outlaw, but you telling my pops,
Yeah.
he a Marine. I'm like, nah, not right now. We're gonna deal with
I
it later.
mean, I just be
What
standing on that, man. You know, because my thing is, let's God forbid, let's say you go through and do your due diligence and she's not. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's vital. You know, something that lady gonna have to figure out. You know what I'm saying? And then if she is, you got to stand on that business and really be there, because it's enough of these. What they call them? What you call them? Viz? I mean, Hank. What you call them?
He said tack
Tackheads.
I got it.
Out
I
here
got another
without
question for
no direction.
You say you fought for your son?
It's a fact.
You
Yes,
fought for your
sir.
son?
Yes, sir.
Why wouldn't you fight for your daughter?
Here's the thing. When I went to court, I just got off child support. When I went to court, it was hard to even get them because it went from every other weekend, and I think I was in school, engineering school, and I was going to Switzerland. So then that's when I found out about her. So when I came back, she told me to my face, "Mike, don't take this to court. Leave it alone." I said, "Bet." I was already trying to handle child support with one kid. And she was always at the premise that you're not supposed to get me tested. You're not supposed to take me to child support. You're just supposed to pay. So it's like the dynamics in the Black community or the Black culture are weird. Like she just expected me to pay out of pocket. But when I found out in court, she wasn't supposed to get that much. Yeah, I stopped listening to the Hotepians in my family.
Wait, how much were you giving her? I mean,
No, I don't want to do that. Nope.
No, man, no, you can't do that. You opened up
I
the can.
can do that. No, I ain't open nothing. I'm gonna tell you my finances though, but that wasn't right.
No, bro, you can't do that because
I don't think
realistically,
that's necessary though. The amount don't matter. The amount don't matter.
no,
Look,
bro,
truth be told, man, you
no,
really
wait,
need
hold
to
on,
find out
no,
the
Hank.
truth, man. I just think don't
Hey.
waste a lot of time and energy and letting that relationship go to, go fall by the wayside if that's your daughter. Because, man, that's a lot of time you're going to be wasting. I know she's a trash ass woman, you know what I'm saying? And she might be trying to dog walk and do you bad, but don't do that, dog. That's not a good look as a man.
I got you.
Hey, real quick, y'all. I wanna get Pain and True in there real quick. They've been patiently waiting.
Wait, hold
Go ahead,
on.
Pain, what you got?
Trey, let me just say this real quick, please. Just we all know, if we've been to family court, we know somebody that pay child support. You know, in most cases, especially if it's one kid, you damn near paying what, $50, $100 or something like that. So like there's $100 shouldn't be shit, bro. You should if it's your seed. I mean, what price point or limit is it that you feel that you are overpaying for your
we should go
child?
to the next topic, Viz, because I'm gonna be real with you. Financially, I had a spreadsheet, and you have no way of tracking what she spends on that child versus what she spends on her. So I'm gonna leave that there. But I know
I'm asking how much were you giving her?
and I'm telling you that's
If you say
information that you don't need to know, poet.
All right, he not trying to forward that information. That's fine. Go ahead, Payne.
Yeah, man. Hello, gentlemen. How you guys doing? I mean, I heard y'all talk about marriage, but this is way past that right now. So, hey, listen. Here's one thing about this brother over here, Fox. Have you ever considered that he don't want to know whether she's his real daughter or not?
That's what it sounds.
I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
Just to keep it a buck, it sounds like he's a grown man avoiding accountability, and that's something that that's something that we call out.
I mean, it's a private thing, But like I said, if you guys were talking about being married, about conditional and unconditional stuff, I think anybody who is married as a man in a real relationship, and I've been married for a long time, the one thing I think you realize is that your obligation to your wife is going to be a whole lot more than you would expect her to give back to you. You're going to your duty is going to be more, because it's just the way it really is in a real committed marriage. That don't mean you bend to her will. If you're leading her, right, you're going to do more for that relationship, and she's going to follow your lead. So I don't think I asked my wife to do more for me than I would do for her, but I do more for her than she asks of me, right? Because she's taken care of. She go to bed. When she goes to sleep, she go to bed like a baby. She don't worry about none of the shit on the outside world, and that's all because of me.
Major pain. That's what Trev was saying early. That we do what we do out of a sense of duty and purpose. He was covering that base for you, Major pain.
Hey man,
That's
we know
exactly
too
what it
much
is.
of this
But anyway, I've been
camera.
married for 37 years, so I'm like a dinosaur in this thing, man. I've been married for a long time.
Hey, yo, Pain, remember that day when you brought your wife to the camera and she had you like this? She had you draped up and you was there getting up.
She didn't have me
A lot
draped up.
of them, they wives own them. I have to say it. That's sad.
Listen.
You rolled it. She was like, "You ain't going
nowhere.
nowhere," and you was there
Yeah,
like.
ain't going nowhere. The thing about that, it was like impromptu.
She did it with love. She did it with love.
Yeah, she's cool, man. My wife is cool, man. We get along pretty well. But anyhow, what's the real crux of all of this situation besides you guys getting on this brother Fox over here, man?
Nah, hold on, Paige. I thought you was representing for New York, man. Wait a minute, you got yoked up on camera?
No.
Major Pain, say it ain't so.
Nah, it ain't so. My wife never do that shit. Yeah. Anyway, but other than that, man, it's a good conversation. But I mean, I guess I don't know how many people are married up here, but I know some of the dynamics are different from each one of us. I know we talked about, and I'll be quick on this one, about people marrying young. I think both men and women should marry younger. I'm an engineer too, and it didn't stop me from having girlfriends and shit when I was in engineering school. I just made priorities as I was going through. From dating, I even lived with a woman when I was in engineering school. That's not the one I married, but and I really agree with Hank about women. We should teach them to to look towards marriage after that, even if they get a profession early. Because if they go through their 20s and get to their 30s and they can get there without having a kid, one of the things I found out about women. A lot of the modern chicks, whatever that really means, if they have a lot of sex, every trauma they have, you could be found at the tip of some man's dick. And all the trauma that women have, if you ever talk to them, every trauma they have is at the tip of some man's Johnson. So the less Johnson they get, the better. And as men, we don't really, I mean, you think about it, we don't worry about body counts that much as long as they ain't slutted out and they don't embarrass us. Because you're never going to know, right? I don't know if any of us have a virgin in our life, but so it's just a matter of whether she moves. How your woman moves is the most important thing. But the earlier the better for all of them. I got married in my 20s. I think my wife was around 20, 25, 26, but I'm old, man. I met her father on a first date. So I asked him to marry, can I marry her? So I had all that old fashioned shit that a lot of people are not familiar with. So, she had a curfew, all kinds of shit like that. So it was a whole different world back then. And I don't envy none of you guys trying to get married today. Nobody. I really don't. But that's all I have, unless you have some questions for me. Go ahead, True.
Hey, Payne, what was the time frame from courting her to marrying her? How long?
From courting to asking her to marry was 5 months. We never dated. The very first time I took her out, I told her I didn't need another girlfriend. And she says, well, I'm looking for something serious too. And we went right into courting, right? And we courted for 5 months. And then we got married maybe around a year later. Her father paid for the wedding, the whole 9 yards, man. So it was a whole different time back then. I got married in 1987.
Yeah. 87?
How old were you in 87?
You said mid-20s. Mid-20s.
Yeah, I was I think 29, 28. Yeah, something like that.
50.
Okay.
So Payne, I know what it is. You said 5 months? Is that what you said, Payne? 5 months?
5 months.
She put that thing on your goddamn chin. That's what it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, no. Just admit it.
No, it wasn't, man. It wasn't. It just wasn't.
Look at Payne cheesy. You skinning and grinning, Payne.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
hey, really, exactly.
5 months, boy.
Our Payne the
that's
bruh.
the basis of it. I mean, I hear what you're saying.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
it's
bro.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't know argue too much. But that wasn't the basis. She was just right, man. The one thing that I got out of this, and I think I told all men, I don't care what time frame you're in, if you're gonna get married, you got to make sure the woman that marries you looks at you as her number one choice. That's one of the things that's the most important thing, right? And you know, she still look. When my wife looks at me, man, I still feel it, and it's been a long time. I still feel it. So she puts me up there. So I take care of her, man, for that. You know, she has some things to understand. So that's my ego. She understands if you have a man, you leave his ego intact. You do a lot of stuff, you know, and I don't boss around. We have this umbrella we live under, and as long as we stay in bounds, everything's cool. It's just kind of cool that way.
So I got a question.
Good. Hold on. Let's get True in there, then we get right back around to it.
Cool.
What's going on, fellas?
Yes, sir.
The confirmed bachelor, True.
Man. Definitely appreciate the conversation tonight. I've been listening in. Good points. I'll tell you what, maybe potentially being one of the youngest men on this panel, I'll tell you what I hear a lot of times that kind of personally bothers me is that we have a very romanticized community. The men of our culture, especially around our parents' time frame, highlights the softness of relationships without taking into account the shift of how things are now.
Yeah.
We also don't take into account the fact that there's mixed messaging. I'm going to educate the men on one thing, and then the very few fathers that actually are around raising the children that they create, I'm going to tell the daughter something completely different. And what happens is that I don't think that we're honest in giving credence to what is. A lot of the times, the education for the men to know what a wife looks like, they've never seen it, nor are they educated on it, and vice versa. So I think a lot of times it sounds good, just like the man that did the little clip. It sounds poetic, sounds great, but we need to be honest. I still till this day have yet to see what married men in the community really promote to give awareness to what a woman looks like. What am I supposed to expect from her from the day we meet, besides the very surface stuff? Because I would argue most black men specifically don't even really know what it's like to be respected by their women. They, in my opinion, are used to being talked to a certain way, mishandled, and mistreated. And what I find is that when I'm talking to men, I mean, I have a younger brother, he's 35. I would say he qualifies to be considered relatively valuable. And even he has had to open up his dating standards, per se, to seek something that was of true quality. And then what I also don't seem to hear a lot is that, you know, I've heard it, but oh, find a women, and there's tons of good women. Someone said network. I think a couple of you guys said network. Most of us don't have network. Most of us have jobs. Most of us have a very small subset of people. So this network that you speak of, I would love to know where these women are in mass. And I would love to know where they are, where they're actually attractive and not overweight, where they're not carrying in a multitude of kids, and where they're not mentally and emotionally traumatized by the time you meet them. And I'll digress.
Hold on, True, real quick. I just wanted to ask you about something. When you said your brother wanted you, well, he had to open up his dating options. What does that mean?
My brother's 35. He meets all the metrics of what women say: the money, the look, all that. His dating options, meaning he didn't have to, but he found better options outside the country, based on
Oh, so he
particularly.
divested. Did he stay
Well,
within the race, or what country did he go to?
Canada. And
Oh.
I won't say he divested. I mean, I know that's a popular term. I don't think that that's an accurate depiction of what we're looking at if we're looking at wives. And again, this is why I'm saying I think our community does a disservice to us. We want to make it seem like our community has a bunch of options. I would have loved to live around our parents' time in the sense of what women were like. My mother is like probably our Payne's wife. I know that most men don't know femininity. Most men don't know that. So what? So please help me to understand from someone maybe on the younger spectrum and men younger than myself, where are all these good women that y'all claim exist that don't have these problems?
Well, so I'll say first. I think first the first thing to acknowledge is the fact that you don't have a network. Like that's the biggest red flag to me, just right off bat. because even if you do have a job, you can still have a network at your job. There's still people that you go and work this job with. So if you're not building relationships within that job, then that to me sounds like maybe you're not seeking to find a network. Maybe you're not putting yourself out there to spark conversations up with people and find out who they are. That's what that sounds like to me, because I don't even outside of the job, if you go to the gym, if you go play pool, if you're a bowler, if you run, if you bike, these are all places where you can build and create a network. So if you don't have a network, then that to me is a huge red flag as to why you may not be attracting the person that you want.
I got a rebuttal.
I'm sure you do.
You know, sometimes it's best to not even make networks with certain people, like barbershops, going to the gym. Sometimes it's best to make networks with people that build you up. Sometimes a lot of people, they're just vultures. They steal energy. You want me to finish, or you want to talk over me?
Why wouldn't you build a network with people that build you up?
Your homework. We had this discussion, Viz. Can I finish?
That doesn't even make sense when you say it.
Hold on, Viz. Let him finish, because I want to hear it.
It's called rules of order debate, right? Let me finish, bro. With that said, sometimes it's best not to talk to certain people. Somebody say, "What's up?" to me. I don't say "What's up?" because the next question is, "Hey, let me get $5 at you." I don't necessarily want that. I'm gonna go to the person that's gonna build me up, not use me. So I don't think your argument holds up, because honestly, you got to pick your networks. You don't have to be in every network to build up a network that's actually sufficient or efficient. I'll leave it there. Go ahead.
But before you go back on,
hold on. Let me get in there, y'all. Let me get in. Hold on, Viz. Let me get in there, because I know where you're going.
Let me say this one thing, bro. Because he was directing it towards me, and I don't know why he keep going off camera. That shit crazy as hell. The fact that your network is asking you for $5 says a lot about where you are.
No, I'm talking about regular human interactions.
Let him finish.
Hold on.
So wait, I'm sorry. You're right.
This is something. Hey, y'all.
I
Look, this
think
is
you're
something
going
that I
off of what
always.
Table was asking about, man. You're going down a path that I think we should be more specific to what Truth Table brought up.
Right. So
that's what I was trying to do.
Let me address that. Hold on. I want to address that. Look. Right. The same way I tell these women, Joe, you can't catastrophize every scenario. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, right now, we have a good network right here with them on this panel. And it's tons of women when we around, right? You know what I'm saying? When we do an event, tons of quality women. So it's like, it's what circles are you putting yourself in? We can't go negative every time we bring up a potential scenario where you could meet people. My slogan is network, outwork, repeat, right? I network my ass off. Like, honestly, get familiar with us, bro. You know what I'm saying? Do a little research, come out to some events, something.
That nigga networking with dope heads.
Well, true. So I would ask you, when you just in general, what kind of conversations do you have? See, what I'm thinking is, even though I'm old school, it still comes down to a conversation and whether you believe what a person's saying and whether what they're saying matches up to the way they move. Correct? I think that's timeless, right? So I think the difference between the questions I might ask in 1987 will be different than the questions you need to ask today.
But Major
Right?
Payne, he was asking about a network and where these women are, right?
Well,
I got an idea.
But even if you have a network of women, you still got to get down to brass.
Not a network, but Major Payne, not a network of women, right? Just a network.
Let me finish. It doesn't matter if you have a network. When you interact with a person, a woman that you're looking for, even if you have a network, it's going to come down to you talking to a woman across from you, wherever she comes from a network or not, right? You still got to get down to whether this person jives with where you're at. And I don't think a lot of men today, let me just finish. I don't think a lot of men today ask the right questions and don't observe the way women move, because they don't eliminate the women they need to eliminate. Because you guys are saying all this. A lot of guys today they have mixed intentions. If they find a woman, they're not telling them, listen, I want a real relationship or I just want to smash. Those are two different approaches. And a guy with a woman, if a woman gives you attention and you want a real relationship, and she says, well, I really don't want a relationship, a guy who's looking to have a real relationship never lets her go because he has an opportunity to smash. And every time he oversteps, when she eliminates herself and you don't let her go, you're still in the matrix. And a lot of guys do that. When they have opportunity, they don't give it up. Right? So they waste time going after chicks that will never give them the relationship they're looking for. And so you eliminate them when they eliminate themselves, and you keep going through the numbers till you find someone you can actually have the next step with. That's I'll land it there.
So I agree with you, Payne. I agree with what you're saying. I want to take a shot at answering a true question. Some of the places that I like, Law touched on this, but I don't think he gave you real detail in how consistent it is. Most of the podcast in-person events, not just this one. Like I went to tonight's conversation, there was at least 300 to 400 women in there who were actively trying to work on themselves to be in relationships or were ready but were single, and they were in there looking good. By some of the questions, you could tell their mind state was fairly decent. I think that's a great place. Like R&B concerts, art galleries, things that
theater,
things that calming women, like women of a certain
caliber,
energy resonate with.
Je ne sais quoi.
It's going to attract a certain type of woman. And that thing, like we was talking about the vegan fest, the rap vegan fest we went to. It was a lot of, like, you know what I'm saying? Just different events where they draw certain types of women. And a lot of times those women be single in them type of spots.
I appreciate that. I guess when I posed the question, just so I hope I'm not confusing you guys, it was more posing a question for those who are listening. I personally don't have any issue finding quality women. This is very easy for myself. So I was asking the question. I was asking the question from the standpoint of men, because finding quality women, I can identify them. Actually, they come very easily to myself. But what I can tell you is what I could tell you is that I was bred a certain way as well. What I've noticed, and all the places you named, Marcus, are great locations, but I don't think we give credence to the fact that when the interactions happen, a lot of the women that I've interacted with just in conversation, I'll tell you, don't have what's called attrition. And they're not bred to know what it is to have a conversation with a man. They don't even know how to have civil discourse. They are very template based in their mindset. A lot of them are underdeveloped emotionally, and it is because our community pacifies a lot of stuff. What I see happening now, to Marcus' point, is that we're now having these conversations. Most women have never heard men be disappointed because most men are not honest. Now we're having the conversation where women are understanding, oh, he has standards. Oh, he requires something of me. This is a new phenomenon, because for so long, a lot of what I've heard on this panel and other panels, men echo the same thing. So women have gotten this condition that they don't have to really bring much to men that are quality. And I would assume we're quality, and the men we're talking to and listening are quality as well. And I'll land it there.
As Mason say, here. I agree with that, brother. Crack y'all jokes right now.
I'm tripping, true, because again, it goes back to, so we don't know any good women out there. We don't know no sisters that know how to hold a civil conversation.
We're not trying to find them.
Around, like,
that's not what I'm not saying that, Rilla. And I try to be a straight shooter. See, a lot of times what I hear, I'll speak for me, what I hear is when we say there's good women, we're saying good women character-wise. But let's be clear. Most men, when they're talking about a quality woman, they're talking about a woman they actually want to attain. Someone who's attractive, someone who has loyalty, someone who is poised. The things that make that man excited. And then to couple that, the things that would make her actually worth keeping. Most women, like we said earlier, are average.
So does that man, so most men are average. So does that man qualify? The woman you're describing, does he qualify for that woman? We seem to do a lot of talking for these men, and it's funny to me when we get on these panels everybody's alpha, everybody's big dog, everybody's making 100,000, everybody got all A's and no F's on their report card, right? We are all average. Find your you. She's out there. I think Viz was saying that earlier ad nauseum. Like, listen, man, when I was a shorty, we used to go to the mall. We used to go to Evergreen Plaza, and you have a contest, see who can get the most numbers. You might approach 10 girls. Out of 10, you may get 2 or 3. That's a good day. Everybody ain't shooting you with them. Look.
But Rilla, you know what's great about
them in the blender.
You know what's great about your story, and I agree because I grew up
I
around
ain't
the
finished
same.
yet though, True.
Oh, my bad. Go.
And I'm gonna go on mute. I promise I'm gonna go on mute because I'm in my old grumpy man phase now. So I ain't got time, right? I just want to be clear because it's like we get up here and to your point, I think you're trying to have the conversation for us to keep it real. And I'm saying that is to keep it real. You know, Nicole that does her studies and she's in the house at a certain time and she's responsible. And you go over to her crib is nice. It's clean. You know what I'm saying? She's in there Saturday morning. That chick gets looked over. She's in there Saturday morning cleaning her bathroom. She's cooking breakfast. You understand what I'm saying? All the things. She gets looked over. Right? And then we saying these brothers can't find these women. And I'm saying the objective shouldn't necessarily be about the unruly heifers that don't qualify for nobody. No more than we sitting up here. We're not talking about I don't want to use the typical euphemism, but we don't sit up here and wax ad nauseum about dudes who don't qualify for females, right? We know we speaking to the dudes that qualify. So where are the females that qualify for these dudes? Because I know they exist.
All right. So let me ask you a question, Rilla. Would you say that most these women, the ones with the clean restrooms inside, quality, would you say that they are under the understanding that she needs to actually put in effort to get the man that's valuable? Would you say that in mass that they know that they understand that?
No, he's saying watch Disney Plus.
No, what I'm saying is drop that nigga, number one. I'm over that nigga. And I don't know what they know in mass, right? I just know I hear a bunch of people complaining for the last 5 years, and I'm bugged out that 5 years in, we still talking about basic shit, dog. Viz was talking about network, right? And Wizzle was talking about network and where we could go, and those answers not good enough. So what we want to do? Barbecue or mildew?
Well, what I think is that collectively, most men understand from a basic level what we need to do. And I think that these conversations are fruitful. I think that it's starting to change. The paradigm is shifting. But for a long time, and that's why you see the results of it now, in your era, in my era, women wanted relationships. It actually was a thing. It was in the music, it was on TV. That's not current day. Relationships now are like a transactional type of ordeal. I never heard before the last 5 years, fight goals, and not saying that stuff's not important. 6 figures, not to say that's not important. But we have a different condition of women now, female now.
You think the women are leading that? So you don't think in the music, because you referenced the music. I'm sorry, Wizzle. I'll go on mute after this, Wizzle. So you don't think also in that same music, men, the young Thundercats, I'll call them Thundercats. The Thundercats wasn't communicating to the women. I'm a savage out here. I'm slutting you and your mama out. I want exotics. I want 2 of them at the same time. I don't care if they sisters. You don't think you understand what I'm saying? Like that goes both ways, my guy. But there are that notwithstanding, because those not the people I'm addressing, right? The people I'm attempting to address are the people who often get looked over. The work I do in the city with these young bloods, right? I've pivoted because the at risk, the guys that are at risk, right? They get resources, more resources than the guys I'm about to describe. The guy that's actually on his square, the young blood that's actually on his square doing his thing, they get overlooked so quick because we're going after the at risk. The guy that's right there on the edge, he could go one way or the other. That's what I'm starting to pivot towards, right? But we focus so far on both sides of the spectrum, on the extremes of them, we're missing a group of people that's right there. They are good sisters and good brothers who qualify for each other, but they're missing each other because some people are I think quite a few of us are overthinking it. But I'm gonna go on mute because Wizzle want to get in there. I'm gonna let Wizzle get in there. Pause.
Yeah, pause. So yeah, so true. I'm gonna go on the ledge and say that 60% or more of those women actually do know that it's gonna require for them to compete and do stuff to keep a man. Whether they voice it or not is I would even go up to 80 about people who just would adamantly try not to voice it. But what I tend to find is even with younger women, because I was with one of the homies on the block a couple months ago, and he stayed running girls in and out, right? And when I'm talking to the girl he was with, he was like, she a savage, she woo, she grew up around brothers. I'm okay. She said she don't want no kids, no husband, none of that fairy tale shit. She just, you know what I'm saying, she not gonna trust these niggas and she gonna do her pretty much on some Meg Thee Stallion type shit. However, I kept asking her questions, and eventually she broke down and said, of course I want those things, but I don't see that being realistic. And what you'll find is a lot of the young women or women in general, even the old women do this. They'll say something that's like unrealistic or see something that's unrealistic in their life, and then they'll just swear off it. Like, I don't think that's in my cards, so I don't want that. That shit is trash. I don't care about that. When really it's just them trying to overcompensate for not achieving something yet. And I wouldn't put too much stock into them saying it. You know what I'm saying? I would treat that as when they be like, you're not gonna hit on the first night, or I don't like you, like, you know what I'm saying? How when they say stuff, it's the opposite, and you know why they saying it. Like I would put that in that box.
It's really just a defense mechanism for them.
Yeah,
that's all it is. We see it all the time that women contradict themselves on those very things
all the time.
So it's realistically, this is human nature. It's human nature to want to be co-ed with someone. That's human nature. That's literally what we're built for. We're made to do that, to be with a person. So it's within us organically to feel that way and to want it. Now, yes, we are definitely living in a time where the loud minority is making it seen or known that that niggas ain't shit. I don't want to deal with a nigga, or the juice ain't worth the squeeze and all this other shit. And it's like, to me, the type of people that you're attracting is where you are right now. I think the other part too is where we're not acknowledging the fact that no one is going to come perfect. We aren't perfect. So if you're looking and expecting for a person to come into the relationship perfect, then you're never going to find that person. Because the beauty of the relationship. Hold on, Fox, can I finish talking? You just talked all that shit earlier. Now you trying to over talk.
I was quiet for 30 minutes, brother. I was just trying to rebuttal.
Well, you got another 2 minutes to allow for
all
me
right,
to
go
finish.
ahead, run your mouth.
So again, if you're like Fox, you're going to attract crackheads that's going to ask you for $2, right? If that's the environment that you're in, then that's just where you are, right? So we just gotta keep it a buck with ourselves, to where we understand that you're not going to attract a person that you feel is perfect. The beauty of the relationship is growing with that person and creating that bond. That's why I said earlier that I think that the best route, if a person is having issues with finding their person, someone to date, then become friends with women. Get to know them. Because if she's feeling you, there is no friend zone. She waiting on you to pull the trigger.
Can I speak, or you done with your Care Bear talk? Can I speak? I'm gonna be real with you. Do you know who Schrodinger's cat is? That's an experiment. The cat goes in a box. It blows up. It's dead or alive. Either that chick acts with you or she doesn't. You talking poetic, and that's what pissed me off. It's like, bro, I'm not even trying to attack you, but something wrong with you.
We in reality right now. You talking poetic and it's all romantic, but you go to divorce court, you go to the family statistics. What's wrong with you? Like I take all y'all jokes and everything, but some of you old dudes drop the ball. Y'all games don't work.
Bro, you the only old motherfucker
Can I
on
speak?
here, man.
I gotta, I gotta,
You the old motherfucker
I gotta
on
say
here.
something after him.
Get in there,
I gotta say
Kenny. Get in
something
there,
after him.
Kenny.
King talk, right? This hold your tongue. That's what you tell me, right? Y'all speak on women like it's y'all last breath of air. Bro, I've been to court. See, you still talking. I'm with Kenny. Chill.
I bet.
You a gangster. You bet, but you still talking. It's a sound wave. That's a sound wave. The fuck? That's a sound wave. It's called science. You still talking. I'm gonna teach you.
Clearly.
Okay. Okay, you stop talking.
Just get to your point, man.
I will if you stop talking. What I'm saying is this: y'all cater to women. It's called something called. I wrote it down. I took notes. You can laugh. I don't care. I deal with your youth. What is the difference between I'm sorry, Viz, emotional labor versus emotional I guess slavery? And women want that from men. You can't answer the question, right? That's why you laugh. See, I don't laugh.
That's a question.
That was. You want to repeat it?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, you might need it. What is the difference between emotional labor versus emotional slavery?
I would think emotional labor would be.
No. I was asking this. See, I'm gonna do it like I do it professionally. Viz, what's the difference? I rest my case. Thank you, gentlemen.
I would think.
Hey,
I would
this
think
is
emotional
the
This
other
is
full house
this
like
is what I
fuck
was
your
gonna
couch.
say.
One of the things
Fuck your couch.
I know you wanted to go, but one of the things, I think
He
you're
just
not
dropped.
taking into account the amount of programming commercially and socially that both men and women have been under. It's put us in the position we are right now. And it's a tremendous amount of program to break that nature that we have, because I agree with you, men and women should be together. But the question is, why isn't it happening naturally the way it should? Right? Not meeting people naturally, having the conversations, and then looking at how a person moves to get to the next level. Because there are good men and good women out there. A lot of the good women hide behind the ratchet ones because they never check them. Right? A lot of men can't decide whether they want relationships or they just want to smash. Right? So I'm just saying, we got a lot of programming that makes us weird. So as an old dude, like I said before, I don't envy the way guys who have to date today. But if you understand basic nature of both men and women, it should be able to help you cut through some of the bullshit. Because a lot of it is noise. It's not white noise, but it's a lot of noise. And you got to be able to cut through that to get to what you want. And then I think there's a lot of people not willing to do that on both sides. That's all I'm saying.
So can I go now?
See,
Yeah,
Willow.
I got to say this categorically, right? Marriage is not for everybody.
There you go.
It's not for everybody. If you can't get married, don't worry about it. But if you can get married, do it. It's the best thing that can happen to you if you have the right one. I don't. You see, or like somebody was saying that marriage was constituted as an institution by the church. As an African man, I'll tell you that is false. Life started in Africa. Marriage has been as old as humans have been. It's not yesterday. It wasn't manufactured by man. It was manufactured by nature. And the reason why it's always been institution, but not the way you say it, is that to have procreation with somebody's daughter throughout history, you have to go to the father. And when you go to the father and ask for her hand in marriage, he will grant you his daughter with the help of the community, his kinsmen. You don't have access to the girl. The only way is different today, and we're just trying to call institutionalize because some men have what I call ulterior motive. They don't want to be married. They just want to have sex with any woman and every woman that they want, and they dignity marriage and say it's not what people preach for it to be. Marriage has always been granted because you can't have access to somebody's daughter just willfully. It's never been like that throughout culture. It's just that the Western experiment messed up the whole thing. So, and then how can you ask somebody to, like, I'm trying to play the other side. How can you ask somebody to get married to a girl or buy a product that is defective and you don't want to sell it at a discount? You want to sell it at the price of a brand new. It doesn't make any sense. So the women have to come with the quality that the men are demanding. If I'm a consumer, I want certain thing. And you got to sell it to me just like the way I want it. If you want to make it inferior, I will go to a different market. The only problem is the black woman has always been told that the black man will take her irrespective of her defection. And black men have been doing that since baby boomers. They've been buying defective product and they took it in.
But so can
They
we?
made it.
Are we going to ignore the statement that Rilla made that there are plenty? There's the same amount of men that are also defective.
Oh yeah, 100% correct. The defective men get with defective women, but guess what? Defective men today are going for undefective women, making them defective, and then these undefective women that become defective are now telling or shaming the undefective man that he should accept her the way she is. That's the problem. You see what I'm saying?
So men are making women defective.
Guess what? And I'm gonna tell you guys. I gotta tell you guys the honest truth. This might rough shoulder. There are defective women that come from defective families. We know that.
Yeah.
But remember that I said that there are also defective men that go to undefective women and make them defective, right? And we know that because it's in our communities, in our countries. We know that these men will not marry these women, but they will make them defective. So that's another problem that we have to discuss. But when it comes to the thing is this, like I was in a podcast one time, I told a woman that the fact that women are defective today is the reason why the high percentage of unmarried women are so high, because they are being held responsible. It's been happening for a long time. It's just that men are not speaking it out. Now they're speaking out. But men have been punishing women for being defective. That is why 75% of black women can't marry, because 56% of them are defective by having out of wedlock children, right? But then you have another 20% or more that went to college but are crazy, coming with their degree as, you gotta respect me because I went to college. Man, you 35 years old woman, who's gonna respect you for because you went to college? I'm not gonna respect a 35-year-old woman that never married. And I'm going to have to come and talk to you like I'm talking to a 22-year-old girl with the same degree.
Wait.
Come on now.
I'm confused. So you said that you won't respect a woman that's 35 with a degree. What does that mean?
Let me rephrase, or let me break it down so you understand what it means, because it's good to put context to this. If you're 35 years old and you're coming with a list of what I should be, you're 35 years old. Yes, no kids, but with degree, right? But you're giving me a list of what I should be. And then you said I should accept you. No, it's not. It's not. It's also a damaged product, because guess what? At 35, I believe that she's been through a lot sexually. So she's not as a good compared to a 22-year-old girl with the same degree. Because you got to understand this, right? At 22, if you have a good degree, that means you've been outside less. But if you're getting your degree at 35, you've been outside for a long time. That's one thing that most of us don't know about these women that said, I got a degree. How old were you when you got that degree? Tells me how long you've been in the street. These are calculations we're not making. Yeah, because guess what she did? She used her 20s to run the street and then went to college at 28, graduated at 32 or 33. Then at 35, she's telling me that I have to respect her with her degree. And another problem that we do have is this, right? Girls that are 20, the girls that are in their 30s with no kids are as defective as a 22-year-old girl with kids. You know why? Because at 35, she's been doing a lot of abortion. That's why she doesn't have kids.
That's not.
We're not thinking that too.
Wait. So what? So I understand where you're going with it. I get what you're saying. I'm confused on you. You keep saying respect. So just because she hasn't been married, she doesn't have the qualities that you desire, you're not supposed to respect her.
Okay, you don't understand what I'm saying. I didn't say you should respect every human being, no matter who they are.
Right, but what you keep.
But what I'm saying is that
you said
I'm
three
not going to
times.
respect her list. I'm not going to accept her list. I'm not going to take her list and say, okay, I'm going to be this guy, this level, and you are a 35 years old woman. Is then demanding respect from me that I have to respect your list. I have to honor your list. I have to do what you say. Well, first of all, I'm a man. I don't do what a woman says. You see what I'm saying? She got to. I lay the program, I lay the rules, then she follow. If she can't follow what I lay down, then we can vibe. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't respect her as a human being. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't understand the difference between a woman and a human being. You got to respect people regardless of their gender. You see what I'm saying, right?
What she gets, she don't respect her standards. Right. That's what you're saying.
But I'm not going to respect her standards.
Right. That's what you're saying.
Okay, right. Okay.
That's why I said her list, because her list is her standards.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm just using.
Yeah. You got you got it. I'm just telling Vix that her list is a standard. So.
All right, let me get to these super chats, man, so we get up out of here.
Can they definitely Ebo?
Michael, yes, I don't about most men be solid men, don't build and take over. For women, it's about power. The spoils are women. Michael again says Adam did what he did for Eve. It was his job and purpose and gave him not to get Eve or please Eve. This mindset is why men lost respect. Men grind to get to the top for power. Women come free with power. Caesar says Chicago Gorilla female cannot tell a man she's a good woman. Only a man can say she's a good woman. We are the ones who date / marry / mess around with them. It's like a woman saying she's a 10, but the men don't. And lastly, again, Michael, $10 says true. 68% of Black women have kids and are not wives. Let's state the facts. Most women are not marriageable or have a wife mindset. Numbers don't lie. Only 30% of Black women are married. There are more Black men married than Black women. I want to thank everybody that's contributed to the platform with that like button. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Catch us next Tuesday, and we out.